Alrighty, and we're live. And it seems brighter than ever, which of course is actually true. The days are still getting longer, and it's been at least a bit cloudy for most of the last week when I've started, and so I'm starting tonight. Clear skies. It looks weirdly bright behind me. It's a bit hard to get used to this time of the year, starting the streams in bright light. Good evening, Robot Man Greg. How are you? How's the day been treating you? Hope everything's peachy keen. And yeah, I just hope things are good. Things are pretty good for me. Had a little bit of an outing today, which was fun. No, I haven't had a haircut. It's just brushed. I think it was a bit wayward last night, and it's also each day that goes past without washing it, the oils come out more, so it actually holds when I brush it. If I sort of did this, you'd see that it's all still there. Okay, now I've gone mad scientist. Okay, fair enough. All right, now, yeah, okay. Now I've gone a bit mad scientist, but that's okay. So we'll go with that. Fox, the Lux Brew place was closed for no apparent reason because their website did not make it look like they were closed, but they were closed. So lucky that wasn't the point of the trip. It was just noticing it was 5 minutes away from where I was going. I thought, well, it seems crazy to drive out there, be within 5 minutes of Lux Brew, and then not go there. And we went there, and they weren't open. So, so then we went to Bunnings and bought a bunch of stuff at Bunnings, including fairy lights, and you won't even see them if I turn them on. I'm gonna have to wait and show them off when it gets dark. Yeah, no, Greg, it's a good question. And in fact, I won't do it on my phone because then I'm looking down. If I do it on the screen, I'm looking up. So if I look at their website, it says they're having a cafe coming soon. We look on the bar side. So sign up for exclusive updates and offers. About. Yeah, I mean, they made it sound like they were open to the public, but they were not open. They were, and there's nothing on their website that says opening hours, but it tells you their address. I mean, why would they tell you their address if they didn't expect you to come? So, yep, it's all a bit weird, but for whatever reason, they weren't open. So, c'est la vie. But Tiny Bear was open, and Tiny Bear was good. And just thought, what I'm going to do with this drink. Here it is. That's what I'm looking for. my Svitvermouth. Mimsy is running around with my feet and she's been misbehaving. She's not in the good books. So, I swear to God, Kat, get the fuck out if you're going to make me get up and open the door. All right. Done. Putting a cherry in my drink. That's like fruit. It's like healthy. This is basically health food that I'm having. It's a fruit smoothie. It's a grape base. What the fuck was that? Connection is unstable. That's unusual. Okay. Okay. My Wi-Fi just momentarily went blue. But I think I'm fine. I think I'm here. So yeah, this is grape based, so it's like a fruit smoothie. Ha! It's not really a classy glass to drink what was essentially a martini out of, but you know, it's just one of those things. So I just stir it with my maraschino cherry, and the maraschino cherry picks up a bunch of flavor as I do this as well. I remade the red martini I made last night to do some close-ups of the pour and the mixing for the video to make the video more visually interesting. YouTube says you've got to go cut. And I've started to change up my videos a bit with more edits and more visual variety. And then, okay. Candy cane I used for a garnish has gone all sticky, which is not really that surprising, quite honestly. I got to decide if I'm going to make any more videos tonight. So, I mean, I don't have to because I've got next week's videos shot, the long ones anyway. I could shoot some more and I'd be ahead, and I'd have. God, I'm being distracted by my own hair, my bloody mad scientist look. You should wake up next to me, see what my bed hair's like at the moment with hair this long. It's pretty wild and deranged first thing in the morning, my head. I showed off this frozen things last night, didn't I? Going to use them as a garnish for things. We've got the they're princesses, I suppose. I've never seen it. My kids had aged out of these sorts of things. So I've still not seen this one. I love that these are probably hand painted by someone working for $2 a day in China. And so they're slightly different. Maybe you say, no, it's probably too small. But she's looking in a different direction here than here. It's mildly amusing to me that the faces are painted on slightly different. Like, she looks worried. She looks worried in this one. She looks less worried in this one. And there are tiny differences in the snowman as well. But yes, I bought that in a supermarket because I thought I could probably use that as cocktail garnishes. And I'm going to. I might make them tonight just to make them. I was going to make like some creamy cocktails. That's what we're going to look at. Okay. The number one Christmas cocktail in England is called a snowball. So I'm going to do a version of this. Isaac Newton's birthday and Jay-Z's birthday. There you go. Oh, Frank Zappa died on this day. There you go. Look at this cocktail, the Frank. Mezcal tequila, bitter aperitivo, Montenegro, dry vermouth, red vermouth. Wow, that's wild. I think I want to try that. That is like a mad scientist mutation of a Manhattan. The spirit and aromatized wine combo, but it's split so much. Wow, I feel like I want to try that. This was apparently created in Sydney. Yeah. Which was the Sydney version was very Campari forward, which I would friggin' hate. I might try and make that because that's just weird. Bonjour, Lee. How are you this fine Saturday evening? Maybe I won't make any videos tonight. I've now got in my head a bunch of cocktails I want to make that aren't Christmassy. I'm going to be making a few weeks of Christmassy cocktails for my cocktail channel because that's what everyone searches, surprisingly, in the lead up to Christmas. You want to get your stuff up there so when people start searching, they find it. That's the theory. I have uploaded one, scheduled it to go live on Monday. That's the red martini that I made. And g'day, Raiders. How's it going, man? I got to edit the other one tomorrow. Drunken FPV, you double my view count on Twitch. Not that it's very busy at the moment at all. Most of the people who watch my stream watch on YouTube. I use a thing called StreamYard that just lets me restream. So just because I can, I restream it to Twitch and Facebook. It's quite rare for people to actually watch me on Twitch and Facebook, but hello and welcome, and thank you for dropping by and doubling my Twitch viewer count. I appreciate it. Oh gosh, still no power in your third world suburb. Oh no. Did you get the generator? You were talking about getting a generator. I did a Bunnings trip today, mainly because I wanted to get a hedge trimmer that's on a long pole. So that shit out there I can attack maybe tomorrow. Drunken FPV, what's my deal? My MO? Rambling is me. I'm a rambling man. Particularly if I'm streaming on Friday and Saturday night. Drinkies. A lot of drinkies. And we talk about literally anything. Like your drunk uncle, I get a bit political. But we tend to nerd out about stuff as well. So, and it can be anything. It can literally be science, pop culture. Sometimes it's music. Sometimes it's engineering. I think last night we talked about Doctor Who a lot last night. So you know, we've got a fairly heavy nerd quotient in the regulars. But it's open. Oh no, drunken FBV. Drunk uncle had wandering fingers, so you put him in a ditch. That's what needs to happen in cases like that, honestly. So right, is the generator you wanted wasn't there? Got to order it. So you do have somewhere to charge all your shit. Oh my god. I was saying last night, one of my co-workers, his place was without power for well, it was more than a week. Um, I think it might have been 3 weeks. Yeah, he went to live with his in-laws while they waited for power to come back on. So, yes, it sucks when basic things like that go out. I don't have flashing lights I can put on the screen. I don't have any of the showy stuff that Twitch does, and it's not quite. I'll look. Watch this bit of magic. Ooh, it's app controls. You can't see them properly yet. They're multicolored. When it gets dark, that's probably going to look quite good in half an hour or so. So that's the best I can do with colored lights right now because it's surprisingly light. Surprising to me, anyway. Probably not surprising to anyone who pays attention to what the weather is like at this time of the year, but it's unfortunately drunken. I am. You want me to show you a snake? I am a city dweller. Well, there's a bit of greenery there. Don't really get. Well, I'm suburban in a suburban. Don't really get snakes here. I wish I could do a whole crocodile hunter thing. Do my best Steve Irwin impersonations and crikey, show you this little beauty. Unfortunately, no wildlife. An annoying cat is wandering around. That's about the extent of it. Birds outside, which is not that exciting. Well, speaking of cats, I want to show off my shirt properly. Put my laptop a bit further away. And maybe angle that a bit. Yeah, right. Martini cat. I'm wearing Martini cat again tonight. I like Martini cat, so that's what's happening tonight. Red beverages and Martini cat. I bought a very interesting beverage today that I am looking forward to trying. Bourbon barrel aged gin. I had a teeny taste of it at the distillery, and it was very good. And so now I'm looking forward to it. The box it came in. Not a box, a bag. From the Tiny Bear Distillery. Have a bear motif. So I've got a very strong... Oh, no, drunken. No one wants me taking the shirt off, man. Nobody. I know there's a whole... what was it? Hot tub streamers on Twitch? Not for me. I have a hot tub in my house. Jacuzzi. Never done a stream from the jacuzzi because it's in the ensuite in the bedroom. And Mrs. Angry says, no, you can't stream from the bathroom because I'm probably still going when she decides she wants to go to bed tonight. And so that's off limits. Drunken Pete, FBI. Saying some people like people wearing a mask. I don't know if that's just a reference to a Twitch genre I'm not familiar with, or you actually know that's a thing I used to do on YouTube, because for quite a few years, I wore masks on YouTube. I had a bunch of different characters that were all different masks. It was about I wanted to preserve some anonymity for a while. All right, by the way, how was the gully? There was a lot of traffic. I had a good outing. Like the visit to the Tiny Bear Distillery was fun. Did tastings. They put on an exceptionally good cheese plate. Really liked it. Yeah, so we did some gin tastings, saw how their distillery works, and yeah, went to Bunnings and then came home, which is it's way more than I normally do on a Saturday. Normally I just, particularly after like a stream like last night, where I didn't get shit-faced, but I friggin' drank and stayed up till 2 a.m. So I normally take Saturdays after a night like that pretty easy. And so that's a lot more than I'd normally do on a Saturday. So, Drunken, your girlfriend is into masks. Maybe she'd like the old videos. If she likes people screaming and swearing, that would be a double bonus. Just go look Angry Aussie on YouTube and then find videos that are 15 years old, because that's how long I was doing stuff on YouTube. But yes, for years I did stuff with these masker characters, and then I got kind of bored with it, and then it was just me ranting and being angry, and then I got bored with that. Basically, that coincided with COVID. No, it just didn't feel like a good thing to do, and I've just been doing these very low key, chill streams, hanging out, and this was the socializing when we weren't allowed to go out and socialize because of the Rona. Oh, Raiders, interesting you say about Melbourne Saturday traffic. I worked at Vic Roads a couple of years ago. A little bit of trivia. We got in a presentation in a staff meeting once. Literally the busiest time of the week on Melbourne roads is Saturday lunchtime, middle of the day on Saturday. Like there was like a multiple choice question. When are the most vehicles on the road in Melbourne? And it was like, is it Monday morning peak hour, Friday afternoon peak hour, Friday lunchtime, or Saturday lunchtime? No one picked Saturday lunchtime, and that is when the most vehicles are on the road. I think it's people taking kids to sport and going shopping. It's wild. Drunken, have I considered doing makeup videos while drinking for a laugh? That is a pretty good idea, quite honestly. I don't really have a makeup kit though. All right. Yeah, maybe my daughter would do it for me. I don't know. There is a video on my YouTube channel where my sometimes sidekick is putting makeup on me extraordinarily badly. It's my one makeup tutorial. So, and that's from, I don't know, 10 years ago. Yeah, Raiders, I was in the Q office. Yes, that was where I worked. Which is funny, KEW, when we're saying Q, like go out on the internet like, QAnon here's, I worked in Q's office. Not quite the same thing. Drunken, I could probably talk my daughter into coming out and doing makeup on me while I got drunk and talked, but she's in a room. She's probably gaming. She's a bit quieter than she was earlier because I think most of the people she game with in the Northern Hemisphere, so they're active. Their nights are like middle of the day here. So she's very loudly abusing people with the online gaming earlier. Yes, Raiders, our Q office is a little more fact-based than the US version of QAnon. I still think it's hilarious that, like, that, the ridiculous phrasing the QAnon weirdos use of, oh, an evil satanic cabal of child abusers. They got kiddies prisoner under Congress. Uh, when the person who is almost certainly in charge in control of the Q postings is an actual pedophile who's set up in the Philippines, where he can abuse children. It's fucking weird. Yeah, I mean, everything about the QAnon idiots is weird, but that little twist that they are almost definitely being played for chumps by someone who is an actual pedophile is pretty weird, quite honestly. But that's the universe. That's the cosmos. The cosmos is weird and likes to fuck with our heads, quite honestly. So, yeah, I don't know. What are you gonna do? It is what it is. Yes, Drunken. I think we could say it's an official policy of the stream that we have very low opinion of pedophiles. I would go so far as to say not good people. Okay. I know that's a radical stand to take. It's controversial. In some circles, it will get me into trouble. But damn it, I'm putting my foot down. Pedophiles, not great people. So, I mean, see, big media is trying to silence me because of that aggressive stand I take. So, you can come here for the truth. Yes, Raiders. It's that classic thing of look over there while I accuse people of doing what I do. It's absolutely surreal how often that happens. Like the supposedly conservative religious ministers who spout a bunch of nasty homophobic shit and then go on holidays with a dude 20 years younger than them that they hired off a site called rentboy.com. That's a real one that happened. That might sound like I was being silly. That is a literal true one that happened in the US. Some Florida pastor who was always saying homophobic shit. And someone thought something shady was going on. And like, because he went on a holiday with a young hunky guy, sharing a room and all that sort of thing. And people go, oh, and he's going, no, I hired him to be a valet, to be a carer and look after me. And people are, really? Where did you hire him? It turns out it hired him from a site called rentboy.com. So there you go. Drunken, if you watch Larry Lawton, he explains in prison seeing floor polishing machine dropped on a pedo's head from 3 stories up. Yeah, I mean, we all want retribution. I mean, I think it's knowing where to draw the line is the challenge, but I think it's a very human desire to, when someone is just a fucking piece of shit, thinking they should pay for that. They should absolutely pay for that. Raiders, I don't think we want to get into too much about what Alan Jones gets up to. Probably sue us, even though what we say is true. Shooter McGavin on Twitch. What would I want to say to my 20 to 25-year-old self? Well, the cliche is it gets better because it does. And it did. My life got way better. Not that it was terrible when I was 20 to 25, but it got better. But, things I'd like to say. There's a whole bunch of things that I could have done in the early days of the internet that if I'd have known which way the internet was going to go, it could have made millions, Tell my 20-year-old self, you will eventually hear about a thing called Bitcoin. Put all your money in the instant it appears. buy as much Bitcoin as you can. It's a fucking bug flying around here. Yeah, just stuff like that. Knowing which way things are going to go. But the simple cliche one would be to say it gets better. Like don't freak out. You're not going to die young. Just stay the course, and it's all going to get better. Raiders, you're going to say Alan Jones lives in Pennsylvania. Did he? Did he move? Actually, you know what I would say to my 20 to 25-year-old self? I would say find a way to travel, because that's one of the biggest regrets of my life, that I've done very little traveling around the world or even around this country. Tell my younger self, travel the world as much as possible. Just find a way. Find a way. Like, work like a motherfucker for 6 months to have saved enough money so then you can travel for a while. Because I think that's my biggest regret, not having traveled. Shooter McGavin, what advice do I have for young men now? Don't listen to anybody who talks about men's rights or feminazis or white men are the most marginalized people. Those people are A, pieces of shit, B, lying opportunists who are just trying to make money out of their fucking scam. So have a bit of faith in yourself as a young man. I think young people are just all potential. Young man, respect yourself, respect other people, and don't get suckered into this bizarre, all the stuff that sort of splintered around in, what became known as the alt-right. And so it's just the racists and the anti-feminists and the homophobes and transphobes. Just don't be a bigot. Don't be a shithead. Be decent to other people. And hello, Celtic King. Right, is your biggest regret is not doing more overseas? Yeah. That is definitely my number one regret, the not having traveled. And Megaleech, hello. Shooter McGavin, I'm glad you like it, man. I say to young men, to young women, to young people, your potential is basically limitless. That does not mean you have to be king of the world, control everything. Living an ordinary, decent life is an admirable goal, is an admirable way to be. But I think, I think young men, and I'm thinking about myself and what I see today. I think it's true. I think young men are kind of at war with themselves a lot. There's this whole thing about you be a man, be in control, get out there and you do the bravado and you do the thing. And then there's all this self-doubt, like whether you admit it, whether it comes out, whether you maintain this veneer of I'm a man, I'm going out and doing stuff. There's this self-doubt all the time. And I think that self-doubt manifests in really unhealthy ways. Sometimes it's self-harm, sometimes it's harming others. That's why I think a lot of reactionary people who do shitty things and promote really hateful agendas, it's coming from an inner insecurity. So I think it's important to have a bit of faith in your own potential. So Shooter, you're from America, you like Aussie culture. From Creator, by the way. Cool. And Drunken, the only man who never makes mistakes is one who never does anything. Yeah, and of course, that's a mistake, to not do anything. you know, I'm not advocating the hold my beer mentality because I'm not a massive risk taker. I've never have been. I'm not, but I've always tried new things. Doesn't always work out, but I've always tried new things. I think that's important. Play with my lights. It's almost dark enough to see them show off. Look, because this is stupid. Now I've got an app where I can control them. See, they can. What's that one? See, now they just do that and they get very bright. What do these things do? And now the fridge ninja sneaks through. There's that one. That's called gradual. Don't know what these color things on this mean. Okay, that means that. It's like red. And it's yellow and green and blue. More blue. I do that. I want it to cycle through the colors. What's that one do? That's called star. That's not bad. Oh, look at that. The way it goes across. That's called flower. Shooter. Give some Oz slang. Fuck with your friends for co-workers. My God, there was this hilarious video I saw today. Ooh, that's called marquee. That's pretty. Ooh, that's pretty neat. Wow, that one's actually a bit trippy. That's called fireworks. That one, man, I'm worried I'm gonna induce epilepsy in someone. We don't want that. Something little sequence called media. What's that? That's called stream. That's not bad. Just kind of cycle. Oh, I like that. That's just kind of cycling through colors. We might leave it on that for a while. Yeah. So, sorry, slang, Australian slang. There's this video a left-wing activist I know put up about how to disrupt the alt-right dickheads, the ones who go around with cameras harassing people in public rallies and whatnot. And the current slang doing the round about, this is basically about the COVID deniers, the anti-vaxxers and whatnot, calling them cookers, which is delightfully Australian. I like it. Cookers. And what that means is they're cooked. Their brains are cooked. They've been in the sun too long. Their brains are cooked. They're no good. They're no good to anyone, least of all themselves. Their brains are cooked. They're cooked. They're cookers. That's a relatively new bit of slang, and I really like it. And it was a drunken. You're 38. Father passed away 18 months ago. My condolences, my friend. Wasn't until he passed away you learned you're capable of doing technical things with your hands. Not that you relied on him, but he was there to back you up if you needed. Expanded your horizons. Nice. That is an incredibly positive... See, okay, that is a very positive message for all men, young men, middle-aged men, older men. Explore. Don't take boundaries for granted. And hello, Abigail, by the way. Because you get this weird thing, like if, like me, you don't like misogynists and bigots, you get this weird fucking response. That means you're anti-men and anti-white. And going, no, because I'm a white man and I quite like myself. It's just you. And I don't dislike you because you're a man, and I don't dislike you because you're white. I dislike you because you're a piece of shit and you're choosing to be a piece of shit. And you get all these idiots who call themselves men's rights activists who talk absolute shit. And they go, you don't care about men's problems. Like, they don't care about men's problems. I think there are very men-specific problems. And I think it can be difficult for people who aren't men to understand them because it's fucking complicated. And Shooter, is something like Democrats and Republicans in Australia very similar. We have, and this might do your head in, the Conservative Party in Australia, the equivalent of the Republicans, is called the Liberals, capital L. So, yes, our Conservative Party is called the Liberal Party, and our Progressive Party, sort of analogous to the Democrats in the US, is called the Labor Party. Labor Party came out of the union movement. The Liberal Party was only invented in the mid 20th century, after the previous Conservative parties fell apart, and the principle was they were very anti-communist. A guy called Robert Menzies was instrumental in bringing them together, and this is like in the 50s, I think. And their principle, you sometimes hear right-wing dicks say things about, oh, I'm a classical liberal, and it's about individuality and freedom and blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. But that's why the Conservative Party in Australia has the name the Liberal Party, because in its formulation, the founders were saying, like, we promote liberal values, value the individual, and really anti-communist. So there you go. Shoo, do you think Donald Trump's going to win the next election? I don't know. I don't try and predict anything in politics because everything's just too goddamn strange. Everything is too strange. So Abigail, his son Will has a few weird distorted ideas on feminism. Would I be able to take time someday to talk to him on behalf of #AllMan? I'd be happy to. Don't know if he'd listen to me at all. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to chat with him. So, all right. Oh, my lights are coming into their own now. I wonder if I put the other ones on as well, would that be too much? One way to find out, because I didn't take them down. They're still there. I put the other lights on and just go out of control. All right, just go over here. Where's the control? Oh, where the hell is the power? Oh, there it is. It's tangled up in here. That's interesting. All right. All right. Now we've got... Man, is that too much? Wow. Very gay. I like it. Trunk and shame. Victoria Woodall was set up for criminal charges the day before she's going to win the American presidential election. That is an obscure bit of American history that I am unfamiliar with. That's kind of okay, I think. It's like really garish Christmas type decorations. Oh man, maybe I should put the little ones on a different cycle. Or is that okay? They're a bit flashy at the moment, aren't they? Yes, they are a bit flashy. I don't know. Jury's out. We'll leave it for a while, see what I think about it, see what everyone thinks about it. I might try and shoot a little bit of video to see what that's like. Okay, actually, throwing this out to the audience, I'm thinking of making a short video for YouTube for my cocktail channel. And so that means less than 60 seconds. So something that someone might want to know or see about making cocktails, something like that. Preferably something, Christmas themed. If anyone has an inspiration of a 60-second video, a less than 60-second video, I can make it. So drunken FPV, it was the 1800s, first women that ran for president before women had the right to vote. She was going really well, but snuffed out by the powers of the time. Well, they didn't like uppity women at the time. Just saying, I think I should be allowed to vote would get you beaten up and imprisoned, if I remember rightly. Now, it's not a US thing. That was a global thing. There's a bit of to do. Drunken FPP. Make the video 69 seconds. Has to be less than 60 seconds. Oh my god! I should do that as a sketch, though, Abigail. A cocktail to hide in your drinks, just like pouring some extra bourbon into. I could do a whole sketch around that. I love it as an idea. Oh, okay. Shoot me out. You want to get into drinking whiskey? Take it gently is the first thing I would say. And what was okay? The first whiskey, and I think cocktails are a good inroad to getting more into spirits. I think a whiskey sour, a proper whiskey sour, because I've heard these horror stories that American college kids have this drink that's like cheap whiskey and a sour mix, and they think that's a whiskey sour. No, a proper whiskey sour is a decent whiskey. It doesn't have to be an expensive whiskey. Like I've made whiskey sours with, Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, which were fine. So a decent whiskey, fresh lemon juice, and sugar syrup. Sugar syrups are easy to make and easy to buy. So it's just whiskey, lemon juice, sugar syrup, and I like it if you make it foamy. And the easiest way to do that is with egg white. There are a few other things you can use, including I've got a little bottle of stuff called Wonder Foam. You put a few drops in and shake that. Shooter, drinking it straight is very hard to get into because it's a pretty intense taste. You don't like sugar or soda. I'd just try. Actually, I'm not sure exactly where you are, but I think if you did a bit of research, there's probably independent distilleries somewhere not too far from you that are probably making a really good quality whiskey, and you could probably go for tastings. And if it's not that, you've got to try and find a good liquor store. We call them bottle shops. I was going to say bottle shops, and I thought you won't know what I'm talking about. A good liquor store or like a whiskey club or something where they do tastings. So my thing would be, don't be scared to have whiskey on ice or with a bit of water. That's actually a traditional way to actually open up flavors, and it also makes it a bit easier to drink. When I'm trying a new spirit, I will normally take it in phases. I want to taste the spirit straight just to see what it's like on its own. And then I will put a bit of ice in it and let the ice chill it, and it will melt a little. And then the spirit will usually have a really different character then. But if you want to start to get into it, you probably just got to do it gently. And the spectrum of what whiskeys taste like is so wide. You want to end up narrowing in on the one that's the one you like. Because there are quite different styles of bourbon. And of course, there's rye whiskey, which is related but different. And then you get the other whiskeys that are made in the US that don't meet the definition of bourbon. They'll just be called like corn whiskey or something. You got your Canadian whiskeys, which are sort of similar to rye. The Scotch whiskeys, there's a whole spectrum of those. They're very different. Irish whiskeys. I have a bunch of Australian whiskeys, which are great. So drunken, the only way you can drink straight spirit is if you've been drinking beer and smoking cigars. I very rarely drink straight spirits. I'll at the very least like make an old fashions. You add a bit of sugar and bitters to the drink. Yeah. Shooter, I reckon do a bit of research and I think you'd be able to find, the ideal thing would be able to find something local, either a distiller or a liquor store that does tastings. That way you can do little tastings without having to like buy whole friggin' bottles, because that's expensive, particularly if you end up not liking it. So I reckon the best option would be find somewhere local that does tastings, because then you can sort of taste a spectrum of things and find out which, if any, you actually like. But yeah, speaking of tasting, I got something new today and I think it's going to be good, and I'm going to taste it now. So just here. All right. So I'm going to get a little shot glass to try this in. And I'm probably going to make an old fashioned with it. But I'm going to try it first. So I went to a local gin distillery today. Well, distillery. They're about to bring out a whiskey, I think. They mostly have gins now, but I think they're bringing out their first whiskey in the next week or so. Looking forward to that. Hopefully it's not too expensive, because sometimes first releases are super expensive and I don't want to spend that much. But they do very good gins, and this is a limited release one. They did one barrel of this, so it's like it made 127 bottles, and I've got bottle 106 out of 127. So this is their Navy strength gin. It's 58% alcohol, so that's almost 50% higher than average for gin. Average gin is 40% or 80 proof. This is 58%, which would be 116 proof. It's what's known as Navy strength gin. And that's their mascot. It's a sailor bear. They call this the sailor. But what they've done after distilling this very strong gin is they've then aged it in bourbon barrels. So that's why instead of being clear like gin usually is, it's got that light whiskey color. And so it's got the flavors. To answer your question, Shooter McGavin, whiskey is a broad catch-all for a distilled grain spirit. And it's usually brown unless it's unaged. But yeah, whiskey is broadly a distilled grain spirit. And Scotch whiskey, for a start, has to be made in Scotland, and it has to follow particular rules. I don't know the specific rules, but there are specific rules. Bourbon has to be made in the US. I think it has to be at least 51% corn mash. An incredibly simplified version of how whiskey is made. There is a fermentation, and you need sugar in there, and a whiskey is going to have grain, and that's why malt or barley or wheat or corn, and because those all have sugars in them. And I think the rule with bourbon is the mash bill has to be at least 51% corn. So what happens, you do a fermentation of the grain, and probably mixed grains, and that's kind of like beer, essentially. And then that's distilled, and that is then a spirit. And some there could be rules about being more than once distilled. Kirsten just appeared on the YouTube chat, who is the resident expert on such things. So yeah, you distill the mash bill sometimes more than once, and bourbon has to be in the US, has to be aged in new oak barrels, whereas a lot of Scotch is actually aged in ex-bourbon barrels. This is a gin that was aged for a little while in ex-bourbon barrels. Yes, Kirsten, I was talking about booze and it calls you. So, yeah, Scotch has to be made in Scotland and follow particular rules. Bourbon has to be made in America and follow particular rules. Irish whiskey has to be made in Ireland. There are no real rules with Australian whiskey. This is gin that was aged in a whiskey barrel. Like gin has to be more than 50% juniper, I think. All right, cracking this little beauty. Drunken. Keep your goldfish in ex-bourbon barrels and make them happy. Abigail, what's best in life? To mash your corn, malt your grains, see the fermentation of the sugars. Yes. All right. Gonna give myself some of this barrel-aged gin. Okay. So. Oop, I stuck my nose in too far. That got a bit burny. Oh, sorry, Shooter. Most people actually watch me on YouTube, but I must have done this explanation just before you arrived. I use a service called StreamYard to restream, and also goes to Twitch and Facebook. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kirsten. Gin has to have juniper, but not a specified quantity, and has to be above 30%, 37% alcohol by volume. There you go. So this is the Tiny Bear Bourbon Barrel Aged Gin. It's got very light sort of bourbon aromas. That's because of the high alcohol content, very oof. Drunken FE, if short on booze, you could shot through your eyeballs. Works well enough, but use the same eye every time. P.S. If I approach you on the left side, probably going to see you. You hear all sorts of weird stories, like people doing alcohol enemas, saying the body absorbs it faster, which is just fucking weird, honestly. Right, okay. So that is actually quite nice. I'm going to put a little bit of ice in it. First, because I like to chill it a little bit. But second, the ice will melt a little, and just adding that little bit of water should open up. Sailor. Yes. Kirsten, this is bourbon barrel aged Sailor. So it's 58% alcohol. They've done 2 batches of this. This is from the second batch. I actually physically went to Tiny Bear today with Mrs. Angry. We did tastings and cheese plate. It was friggin' great. Abigail, you met a young lady named Juniper. She was 13 or 14. Refreshing to talk to a teenager who could carry on a conversation intelligently. That does sound pretty good. Yes. And I, at some point, again, someone who's in the chat, Abigail, who is my tech support, essentially, I think we did talk about at some point, she's going to show me how to set up a restream, because I would like the amalgamated chat to appear on screen. So, oh yeah, maybe OBS, Drunken. I looked at OBS when I started streaming again 2 years ago, and it confused and infuriated me. Wow, that's got some wild flavors. It's almost fruity. And it's savage alcohol burn. Yeah, Kirsten, we did the tasting platter. It was the 3 Christmas gins, and then you got to pick 2 other ones. Shooter, do I drink to get drunk? Short answer is yes. I've learned to be a bit mindful about the drinking and enjoy it. Okay, Abigail, you 100% going to set up OBS next time. Okay, so yeah, Abigail's my tech support. Comes over and I bribe her with alcohol. We did a big whiskey tasting. Was it a week or 2 ago? You here, Abigail? We did the whiskey tasting. I lined up like 5 or 6 different whiskeys, and there was like a bourbon and a Scotch and an Irish and 2 Australian whiskeys, and we were just doing comparisons. Damo wasn't there, Kirsten. Oh God, I forget the names. Wonderful people there, though. So Damo's sister was there. I'm forgetting all the names. I just remember he's talking about how Damo started it. Damo was answering my emails when I was asking. So I've got membership to the Bear Den. Gives me discounts on Tiny Bear stuff now. So woo! And I did get the 3-pack of the Christmas gins again because they're so good. Drunken, you looked a girl. She confused and infuriated me. Oh, so you went with a dog from the animal shelter. Nice. Yes, Shooter McGavin. If you'd have seen me last night, you could have gone, I think he's drinking to get drunk. Oh, my God, the flavors in this. 32.1 standard drinks in here. Get you drunk 10 times this bottle. Please enjoy responsibly. Good advice. This is one to be careful with. No, Shooter, we have no legal weed. Next friggin' time I go to the US, man, I'm going to the States where shit's legal and I'm getting edibles. Oh no, Kirsten, hungover from last night, got home at 3 a.m. I streamed till 2 a.m. Drunken, yes. Aussie do things, end things in O. Yeah, Damo, Stevo. It's or even like, okay, we're talking about our name for liquor stores is bottle shops or the bottle-o. People just say, I'm going to the bottle-o. It's people's jobs. The milkman was the milko. The garbage man is the garbo. I'm not joking. This is shit we say. All right. Ooh. God damn, the flavors in that are amazing. And it's just, I'm going to make an old fashioned with this. Oh, you had to catch a plane. Holy cow. That's stressful. For being hungover. All right. And okay, Shooter, this is a way I'm going to make probably the simplest cocktail. It's the original cocktail, the old fashioned, and it can be a way to ease yourself into spirits. Man, I'm just going to build it in the glass. I'm not even going to friggin' bother. Where is my big glass? Dun, dun, dun. I washed last night's glasses because I'm a fucking responsible adult. All right, you can go there. All right. Just using these cloths as coasters because of the condensation. Okay, I'm going to put a big fucking bit of ice in there. From my big fucking ice tray. I love huge cubes of ice, so big fucking cube of ice in my double rocks glass. So, think what would be good bitters to put in here. I could just go Ango. Lime? Maybe orange. Trying to think. Maybe one shot Ango and one dash orange bitters in this. Where is my jigger? Where my jigger's at? Here it is. All right. So, get one of my sugar syrups. I've got a fucking bunch of sugar syrups in here. That might be too strongly flavored. And that is juice. That's sugar syrup. All right, this will do. Sugar syrup. So, alrighty. Because you like whiskey butts cannot lie. Oh dear. Shooter, are you a vegan? You can't take sugar very well. I get that. There is some room for exploration with sugars, including like agave syrup, which is a sweetener that comes from agave plants, so like cactuses. That might, and this just has the smallest amount of sweetener. So simple cocktail. Little bit of cocktail ASMR, the pop coming in the bottle. So you do like 2 ounces or so of your spirit. And I'm just doing this straight in the glass. And you do a little bit of sugar. I'm doing sugar syrup. So it'd be like 5 mils, like a bar spoon. I am not going to measure it. I'm just going to put a little bit in. And then bitters. For this one, I'm going to do 1 dash Angostura and 1 dash of orange bitters. Drunken, thank you. A more accurate word is succulent rather than cactus. You are, in fact, correct. And just because I like to treat myself, I'm going to put a maraschino cherry. Yeah, I mean, Shooter, I'm all about improvising and adapting based on what you have and what you like. Using different sugars, different sweeteners is going to make the drink taste different, but it should be something that you like. So agave syrup is perfectly acceptable. So I'm just stirring that in the glass. So that's it, the old-fashioned. 2 ounces of spirit, about 5 mils of sugar syrup, a couple dashes of bitters. Oh my God, that's fucking... Oh, that's really brought out the bourbon flavors. Oh, that's wild. That's really interesting. Just adding the bitters and a little teeny bit of sugar, chilling it down. So it's also diluting a bit. The ice will melt a tiny bit. Another good thing about big things of ice, they melt slower. Okay, a little bit of the sort of juniper gin. If someone made this for me and said this was a whiskey old-fashioned, I would believe them. It's it's good. It's good. What's the black or what the black dot in there is a maraschino cherry. Maraschino cherry. I like to say maraschino because it upsets the people who say maraschino. And I just like upsetting people. Drunken girlfriend said she'd treat you. Next minute, you're hog-tied, dragged onto the house, kept there for 3 days. Oh, well. Oh, my God. Are you in Wisconsin, Shooter? You're about to tell me about a Wisconsin old-fashioned, which is... I'm I'm not okay. I am, dude, you're in Wisconsin. Jesus. I am not. I am not. As soon as you started saying we make it different in my state, no, you're in Wisconsin. I am not okay. I am not okay with Wisconsin old fashioned. I don't want to be bigoted, but it's a crime against God. No, it's not. It's not. It's just not my preferred way. There have the old fashioned in one form or another has existed for, I don't know, 150 years, and the way it's prepared has changed a little, or a lot, over the decades. So Shooter, you're not from Wisconsin. It's what you've seen. Yeah, it's kind of like there's an episode of Mad Men where Don Draper makes a dude an old fashioned, and he makes it very much in the Wisconsin style. And that's basically, people get like a slice of orange and the cherry, and they muddle it, and then they do the stuff. I think they even put some soda in. But in its simplest form, an old fashioned is any spirit, sugar, and bitters. That's it. That's an old fashioned. Spirit, sugar, bitters. The most common old fashioned made today is a whiskey old fashioned. Oh God, and the sour soda. Jesus. All right. I'll look it up. There's probably a few slightly different recipes. Wisconsin. Okay. Oh yeah, they do a brandy. Wisconsin likes a brandy old fashioned. So, yeah, this makes sense. So, you orange wedge, maraschino cherry, sugar, and bitters. So, you muddle those in the glass and then add brandy and then ice. And yeah, some people put some sort of soda on top too. So yeah, that's a Wisconsin style old fashioned. So yeah, do whiskey and bourbon too. It's just brandy's preference. Yeah, I mean, this classic old fashioned, way simpler than Wisconsin old fashioned. So yeah. So Drunken, if you ask Elf Stewart, he'll tell you VB is the best beer. No one in Australia actually drinks VB is church. I don't know. I'm not a beer drinker at all, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But I seem to remember VB being kind of like the rock and roll beer. Bands who are playing in pubs, their rider was VB. And so yeah, shoot me, Evan. If normal sugar gives you problems with digestion and you're okay with agave syrup, use agave syrup. Like just a spoon. I mean, you can adjust it to taste, but I would literally do like 2 shots of the spirit of your choice. Could be brandy, could be rum, could be whiskey. In my case, bourbon barrel aged gin. About 5 mils or a bar spoon of sugar syrup, or agave syrup, if that's going to work for you, and a couple of dashes of bitters. Just simple Angostura bitters is the way to go, and stir it on ice. Man, but this is wild. I'm going to have to drop him a line a tiny bit saying I made an old fashioned with this, and if someone had told me, if someone told me this was a whiskey old fashioned, I would believe them. Yeah, Shooter, no soda for an old fashioned, but you can do a highball if you want. Whiskey highballs are very popular, and that's the whole spectrum, scotches and whatnot. You just do a tall glass with soda, I don't do highballs very often, but that's basically it's just a tall glass with ice, whiskey, soda, bitters. You probably wouldn't put sugar in a highball, but whiskey, bitters, and soda in a tall glass with ice. That's a very popular drink. I rarely drink them, but it's a popular drink. Oh my god, drunken! My best dad joke. Oh shit! I was even saying some of these the other day. Dad jokes are usually terrible puns, and yeah, I. You know, when you get put on the spot, you can't remember anything. This one's not really. I suppose it is a dad joke, but it's like, dad goes to his friend's funeral, and everyone's sitting quietly in the church and they're speeches, and the dad says to the widow, "Do you mind if I get up and say a word?" And the widow said, "You were his best friend, of course." And so the dad stands up and says, "Plethora," and then sits down. And the widow goes, "Thank you. That means a lot." That is just a really stupid joke that it's got like 2 dad jokes built into it, and I just like it. Oh no, drunken FP broke a glass doing a highball. Shooter, do you like my circle glasses? I've had it. Okay, I have multiple pairs of glasses. These are the milder circle glasses. The hardcore ones are here. These are actually much heavier, even though they're just plastic frames, and was hurting the bridge of my nose, so I stopped wearing them. Look at these ones. Look at these ones. These are the most recent glasses I got. They're pretty extreme. Kirsten, you got to go to bed. You survived really well, considering it sounds like a really heavy night last night. Oh, and I'm probably not doing a stream tomorrow because I'm going out with Mrs. Angry. Okay, yes, it does have somewhat Harry Potter vibes, doesn't it? I'm like Harry Potter in 40 years. I'm Harry Potter 40 years after the end of the books. So, and Abigail, I won't be doing June Club tomorrow either because I'm going out with Mrs. Angry. So I'll be out. So no June Club and probably no stream tomorrow night because I will be out. Sorry. Drunken FPV. What would be odd if you had glasses, but the lenses were shot glasses and you took alcohol through your eyes with them? Okay, I haven't worn these glasses for a little while and they're weirding me out a bit, quite honestly. Shooter, what's my take on Kid Laroi? I am really not familiar with Kid Laroi at all. So I honestly do not know enough about Kid Laroi to have a take. I know it's wild in this day and age for someone to say, I don't know enough about that to have a take on it. But in the case of Kid Laroi, I don't. Yeah, see, I actually do not listen to a lot of contemporary music from the States. And like I know fucking nothing about like hip hop and R&B in the States. I listen to a lot of Australian hip hop and a lot of Australian indie stuff. Like I'm aware of the Kid Laroi. I'm aware of the existence of. Oh, you're saying Kid Laroi is from Australia? See, I'm old, man. Okay. We're gonna, let's go. I need to get some context. Okay, he's an Australian. Jesus, I don't like the look of him. Straight away, looking at him. Charlton Kenneth Jeffrey Howard, born 17th August 2003, professionally known as Kid Laroi, Australian singer, rapper, and songwriter, born in Waterloo. He's friends with Juice WRLD. There you go. Now I just feel embarrassed that I basically know nothing. I basically know nothing about Kid Laroi. So there you go. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of sort of up and coming indie artists in Australia that I hear on Triple J that I quite like. They're a little bit older than Kid Laroi, but I quite like. I could run through this. People like Alex the Astronaut and Amy Shark and Thelma Plum and Baker Boy. Who's another younger one? Just all my taste is a bit older, but some of the younger ones I quite like. It's hard to keep track of. My go-to music is the very broad indie category. Going right back to the 80s till now. There's an Australian national radio network called Triple J. You can listen to online, Triple J, triplej.net.au. They stream. They do really good music. I think it's a good radio station. God, those fucking glasses, I hadn't worn them for a while. They're weirding me out. So yes, Triple J is a government-funded national radio network aimed at the youth. No commercials because they advertise their own stuff basically. Oh, Shooter McGavin, I'm hippie liberal. I'm fucking radical left, dude. My politics are fairly aggressively radical left. Yeah, no, and I know what you were meaning, the liberal in American terms, but I think my politics would scare most American liberals. You know, just simple things like jail all the billionaires until every single person involved in generating their wealth has a living wage and has protected employment conditions, things like that. Yes. Oh, sorry, Abigail, you're missing. Yeah, there's two guys on Twitch having good conversations with. One of whom his username is Shooter McGavin 69. Robert McGregor, you prefer Double J? I don't listen to Double J that much. That is much more aimed at our age group. In fact, I don't even listen to Triple J that much anymore. I get auto-generated playlists from my YouTube Music. Hey, Justin, how's it going? All right, I am going to write a very favorable review to Tiny Bear about their bourbon barrel-aged gin. It's good. Oh man, that's good. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to drink some water. It's 9:30 and I haven't drunken any water. Drunken, it's all good. Ignorant, don't know the difference between left and right, but you don't get involved in politics. That's okay. Yeah. So, all right. I'm going to drink some water. Only water I've drunk so far this stream would be melted ice. So I think I would be well served to drink some H2O. Abigail, eat pieces of poop like Shooter for breakfast. Uh, that is a silly movie. Silly in a good way. Hey, Nog, hello. You like the shirt? Martini Cat? You ever notice there's this weird thing about Adam Sandler? And I've liked a bunch of stuff Adam Sandler's done over the years. But when he's doing his comedy movies, it's like every second movie, for reasons that are never justified, he does it in a really stupid voice. I guess it was kind of justified in The Waterboy. It was like Little Nicky, and it's just basically every second one of his comedy movies, he does a stupid voice for some reason. And it's not like, legendary acting or anything. But yeah, as I said, I've liked a bunch of stuff he's done over the years, but that thing he does with every second movie, just doing a weird voice. Oh, nice. Shooter, you played college golf. That's why you chose the username. I like it. I like it. Here, I was going to make another drink. What other drink was I going to make? Tried my barrel-aged gin, and it's friggin' awesome. This is one of those things. Like, I remember another stream. It's the time I actually got raided by Jenkins 420 Jenkins, whichever way that goes. Fucking thousands of people came onto the stream. Yeah. Someone asked, because everyone got fascinated with the amount of booze I have over there, and someone asked, like, what's the rarest one I have? I think they thought I'd say I spent thousands of dollars on something. And I haven't. I spent about the... God, I think my sugar syrup's fermenting. Why is it bubbling like that? Ooh. I wonder if that's safe. Kind of looks like my sugar syrup's fermenting. What's going on? Looks okay. Smells really good. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yes, no, it is safe to say that's Adam Sandler's gimmick, but it's not a good one. I say it's very bad in Jack and Jill. It's never good. There's never one where I've gone, oh, that funny voice is really good. It's never good. Drunken You dislike Sandler in your 20s, but you can tolerate him now. And Greg, I agree, Punch Drunk Love was good. That one he did for Netflix. Was it early this year or last year? That was pretty good. I mean, his character was fucking vile, and I didn't like the character at all. But that's sort of good acting. He's got I don't know, 3 or 4 movies where he's a good actor. He's got a bunch where he's funny. Oh, Shooter, you're a food safety quality manager. How long have I had it? A couple weeks. I made it a couple weeks ago. It's just sugar. Actually, no, it's not just sugar and water. I think what might be making it ferment is the pineapple syrup I made. Because I made some tepache with the pineapple, which ferments it a bit. I don't know. Anyway, it tastes fine. I'll either die or I won't. I leave it with the fates. I've got some interesting non-alcoholic beverages to try, actually. Oh, yeah, no, Shooter. I refrigerate it. I agree with you. If you don't refrigerate sugar syrup, it will spoil in a week and whatnot. But I do refrigerate. Thank you, Sebastian, on Facebook. Uncut Gems. Yes, that was it. Thank you. I forgot the name of it. Drunk and you don't trust things that smell good. You thought a girl smelled good. When we woke up, she smelled like a bag of rotten potatoes. She must have been wearing perfume. Oh my God. I'm assuming you're telling these stories for humorous value. Either that or you've had a lot of drama. Possibly both. Shoot, you reckon the last 2 weeks in the fridge? It might be about 2 weeks old. Maybe that's why it's probably... Maybe it's fermenting. Who fucking knows? But if I decide that it's dodgy, I have to throw it out. It's no big deal. It's just sugar and water. So I'm not losing a lot if I throw it out. I've made a few sugar syrups with different bases. So so good, as I say. That's what... No, I knew I had another fucking drink in mind. This one sounds wild. I want to make this. The Frank. Which is, again, to me, that's just an hilarious name for a drink. The Frank. Where's my notebook? I might have to... I've been keeping a notebook so I don't forget things. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the Frank. I'm not going to fuck around. I'm just going to make it in the glass. Because it's a stirred cocktail. I'm also making some pineapple tequila. I've got this big plan for making what's probably going to be a margarita-ish liqueur. I'm making some tepache, which is like lightly fermented with pineapple. It's pineapple and sugar and some spices like the cinnamon and cloves and star anise in it. I made that before and it was yum. And I made this liqueur with rum that Abigail, if she's still here, would assert was really yummy. And hi, Nettie, by the way. I'm having fun. I'm having really active conversations with a couple of guys on Twitch tonight, in fact. Yes, Noog, there's a cocktail called the Frank. I'm going to make it. Was apparently invented in a bar called Maybe Sammy in Sydney. And this guy, Simon Difford, has adapted it. He's made it all equal parts. And I tend to agree with him. So, half ounce of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 ingredients. A little bit complicated. It's basically a complicated Mexican Manhattan. Drunken. Sounds queer. When you were in your early 20s, your fave drink was an illusion cocktail. A Midori illusion. Midori is underrated. Midori has a bad rep, but you can make really good drinks with Midori. All right, so I need to get mezcal and tequila. And I have both. Where the fuck is... Okay, here's the mezcal. It's a mezcal I bought recently. It's called Peloton de la Muerte, which translates as Death Squad. Death Squad Mezcal, which is, choice. No, I've got... I don't want to use that tequila. I want to use the friggin... There it is. It was just there. Okay, mezcal, tequila. Oh god, I'm just gonna friggin' do this. No, you're kind of hoping it was created by a guy called Frank, like Homer with a flaming red. Yeah, I'm not sure why they called it the Frank. It might have been named after someone. Oh my god, smoky mezcal is the aroma. Like it's really sweet and earthy, like vegetables. And then the smoke, like barbecue smoke. It's friggin' amazing. The aroma on mezcal is amazing. Right. Mezcal. Tequila. I don't think you can ever mention tequila without getting that song stuck in your head. 100% blue agave tequila from Jose Cuervo, which I know has kind of a bad rap in the States. Like Cuervo is a shitty. I think this is an okay tequila. I'm not a big tequila drinker. I got this bottle to make pineapple tequila. Now, this has got a whole bunch of other stuff. Aromatized wines. Okay, a bitter aperitivo. Montenegro Amaro. Okay, which bitter? I'm gonna put Aperol in. Fuck it. Aperol. Not Campari, because Campari sucks balls. I hate Campari. Oh my god. It's fucking sugared up the thread in the top. All right, 15 mils of Aperol. Bam. Now it's going to be a nice pink manly drink. Where's my Amaro Montenegro? There it is. Oh, now it's going to get all murky because Amaro Montenegro is brown, basically. It's going to go from being a nice manly pink color to being brown. No, it's still a bit pink. Sort of peachy orange color now. But I'm going to put sweet vermouth in it. That's going to go really dark. So what is it? Dry vermouth and sweet vermouth. Okay. Oh, I'm going to use my absinthe vermouth. Okay, man. Right. It's not really absinthe, but they use the same botanicals in this vermouth that are in absinthe. So it's got that aniseed, wormwood flavor that absinthe has. So put dry vermouth and sweet red vermouth. All right. And that's it. This is the Frank. Ooh, now it's red. Because this is like the reddest sweet vermouth I've ever had. All right. You're meant to serve this up in a glass, but I'm just taste testing it. You're also not meant to just stir drinks with your finger, but it's my drink. Look how dark red that is. Pretty impressive. Gregory on Twitch as well. Hello. Jose's ruined in the States. Nice. Drunken. You can tolerate any shot straight except tequila. Had an employee who insisted go to town with him for Christmas. It's only to do with you in the company. You brought tequila shots. Oh, you hated it. Worst night of your life. Damn. So this is the Frank. Oh, it's got just really light mezcal notes in it. Just smoke and the earthiness. And people say vegetal, which is a kind of wanky word, but to me, it makes me think of potatoes. Maybe I'm weird. Mezcal makes me think of potatoes, like roasted potatoes. Well, fuck me, that's good. Oh my god. Oh, you get the fruitiness from, because the vermouths, they're wine based, so you're getting like that fruity wine flavors from them. That comes through first, but then it's coming on late is the mezcal, and there's a little bit of bitterness from the bitter aperitivo that's in there as well, the Amaro. But just because I didn't use Campari, which is too fucking full on, I used milder bitter aperitivos and Amara. So it's got this spectrum of, it starts like sweet and fruity, and then there's a little bit of bitterness from the aperitivo and the Amaro, and the tequila and mezcals, the lingering taste, just sort of smoky and earthy barbecue flavors. Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like if you wrap a potato in foil and put it in the coals of a barbecue, and that's kind of how mezcal's made. They do the heart of the agave plant, and they roast it in stone ovens, and that's where it gets the smokiness, because they are essentially barbecuing the agave plant before they distill it. My God, that fucking rocks. That fucking rocks. I am okay. I need to get my notebook and write the frank down. Where did I put my notebook? Okay, I'm going to disappear momentarily. And yes, I am just going to grab my notebook and write down the frank is a good drink. Make the frank for your cocktail channel. Now I have all this shit ready for the future. I'll only be a minute, less than a minute, seconds. All right, I was gone longer than I said I would be. But that's because I was talking to Mrs. Angry. She's in the next room, and I was just updating her on everything that's happened. Getting the notebook so I don't forget about the Frank. Shooter, how many subs for a Kid Leroy song? What, you want me to sing a Kid Leroy song? I don't know any Kid Leroy. I can't play any because I'll get fucking content matched on YouTube. So I can't do that. No, you're saying a good cocktail maker has a notebook. This is Annette's inspiration. She keeps a comprehensive notebook. And I realized I was forgetting shit. Oh, Greg, you were just checking Twitch. Fair enough. It's like this one I wrote in last night, Love and Murder. It's just Did I mention that on the stream last night? I stumbled across this and I love the name, Love and Murder. It's like Campari and green chartreuse, basically. Also has lime and simple syrup. I'm not going to use Campari because I fucking hate Campari, but I've got other bitter aperitivos that I'm fine with. But Campari and green chartreuse, that's going to be fucking wild. Maybe I should make that because I don't think I've made it. I haven't. I'm going to make that. Oh man, I'm going to get fucking hammered. Ah, okay. Cool. Oh no, Nettie, why are you panicking? That doesn't sound good. I just need to fill in the frank and remind myself that I found it on Difford's if I need to look it up. Okay. The frank. So 15 mil mezcal, 15 ml tequila, 15 ml aperitivo, 15 ml Amaro Montenegro, I don't do many 6-ingredient cocktails, basically. 6, and these are all alcohol. This is an all alcohol cocktail with 6 components. That's actually quite unusual. Dry vermouth, 15 ml sweet vermouth. Okay. Notes taken. The Frank, good cocktail. I might actually make a Love and Murder next, so I know what it tastes like. If it's worth making for my cocktail channel, because the Frank is worth making for my cocktail channel. Oh, okay. Yes, Annette, you're doing in private chat. That's fair. Oh no, Micro, you need us to work for you so you can sleep more, mate. Fair enough. Also, but Micro USB, for your info, me replying to things is going to sound particularly weird tonight because there's a couple of people on Twitch that I'm answering as well. Greg, sorry, I was just going back looking at what I'd missed. So, yes, Campari's dirty. Campari's just too freaking bitter. And it's very popular for people who are in the whole cocktail scene. Like, I'm a friggin' outcast in the cocktail scene for not liking Campari. I'm not the only one, but Campari's quite popular in the cocktail world. So I'm a bit of an outcast for not liking it. But I don't. It's just too fucking bitter. Shooter McGav, you're getting a Supreme hoodie next week. My daughter has a Supreme hoodie. They're friggin' okay. Both my offspring, who are in their early 20s, like hoodies, and friggin' laundry, man, trying to get laundry dry. Everything dries, but they're fucking hoodies with the hoods aren't dry and it smells like rotten. I fucking hate it. These shirts, which I've gotten into in lockdown, my cocktail shirts, they're just made of, plastic, nylon or whatever the fuck. They're almost dry when they come out of the washing machine. Just the spin cycle on the washing machine. These are almost completely dry. Just have to hang them up for a bit. Oh God, Shooter, you're addicted. What are you addicted to Supreme specifically, or hoodies generally? Yes, Greg, there's that Campari house in the CBD. Yes. Margo, you're fighting. Sorry, I love that. All caps fighting the Twitch guys for the dominant spot. Right. Toby, my favorite cocktail. Okay, what are you asking? My favorite cocktail or my favorite component in cocktails? Because the second one's not easy to answer. If you're talking about base spirits, and okay, so the base spirits for cocktails are whiskey. I'm not even mentioning vodka because fuck vodka. Whiskey, gin, brandy, tequila, and rum. Okay, so those are the key base spirits for cocktails. If someone said you can only have one base spirit in cocktails for the rest of your life, it would be a very difficult choice. It would be a really tough fight between whiskey, gin, and rum. I'd probably go with whiskey. I would probably go with whiskey. Very, 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 very difficult decision. Very difficult decision. But if someone said you can only have one base spirit from now on, it would probably be whiskey. But it would be a very tough fight between whiskey, gin, and rum. And even if someone said I could have three, I would choose whiskey, gin, and rum. Then I'd miss brandy. Not tequila so much. I hardly drink tequila. This is a mezcal tequila drink, and it's fucking great. I feel like I should get more into tequila. Of the base spirits, tequila is the one that I'm just not into. And I don't hate tequila. I'm just not into it. Micro, you're a rum man, and that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Shooter, why don't I like beer? I just don't like the taste of beer. Rotten weeds, man. Distill that motherfucker. Then you've got a whiskey. Take the beer and distill it, and then you've got a whiskey. Micro, Micro, addicted to middle-aged Aussie men who's with glasses who stream nightly. Yes, I get where you're coming from. Oh yeah, no. Again, that's your thing, man. Craft beer, go for it. It's just not for me. I don't know. I've just never been. I drink cider, not often, but cider. I'm cool with cider. But just no beer, no, ew, no. I've just never gotten into beer. It's just not my jam, man. It's not my jam. No, you're picking rum. Yeah, man, picking rum doesn't make you boring. It's a hard. I'm not joking. It would be a hard choice if someone said I had to pick a single base spirit. Very, very hard to choose between rum, whiskey, and gin. And if I had to choose one, I would forever miss, I can't have those rum drinks anymore. I can't have those gin drinks anymore. I would miss them forever. And if I could have all three, then I'd miss the brandy drinks. So it's just like, fuck, man. So that's why I have all these goddamn bottles here, because I like variety. So, Mikey, you had a great rum. Lady at liquor store recommended. Nice. Called the Real McCoy. I think I've heard of that. I have got to fucking stop buying bottles. I bought, because there was this rum I like. Fucking man, they had it on. They corrupted me. They had it on special for $20 off. I wasn't going to buy it. Diplomatico Reserva. It is a Venezuelan rum. I really fucking like it. This is a really, and I wasn't going to buy any more bottles. And then it was $20 off, and I was like, man, it's $20 off. It's $20 off. So I bought it. I haven't opened it. I should, man. Okay, I'm going to have a sip of it. When I finish this, I'm going to have a sip of the Diplomatico. I should christen the bottle. I bought it. I haven't opened it yet. Okay, Shooter, whiskey. Oofed. Okay. What I would recommend is, basically what I was saying before. I think the best thing, if you could find a distillery that is somewhat local to you, independent distilleries are just doing amazing shit. And I reckon there would be some independent distilleries not far from you. But look, failing that, if I was going to go big brands, what are the big brands? Man, like Rittenhouse Rye. It's fucking great whiskey. It's a rye whiskey, 100 proof. It's a great whiskey. There are a couple of really good 100 proof whiskeys that are great for mixing. Rittenhouse Rye. I've got Wild Turkey 101. These are both 100 proof whiskeys. They're great mixers. But I'd really recommend finding an independent distillery. But yeah, just randomly, one that you could probably get really easily, Rittenhouse Rye or Wild Turkey 101. They're just fucking great mix. They're good just on ice, but they're really good mixers. And they're probably very easy for you to get. Drunk in another girlfriend story. Okay. She liked variety. Anytime come home to party, 6 in the lounge. Oh dear. Wondered what the fuck the sausage party was. Your current girlfriend comes with cocktails. Dude, Drunk, I love it. Drunk and FPV on Twitch is like Rodney Dangerfield just with these stories. I can't get no respect. Okay, next girlfriend of mine. I fucking love it, man. I fucking love it. So, Micro, there's a study published of alcohol consumption per capita. Got to say, you're drinking. Yes, Australia got ranked drunkest country. Woo! I should not be proud of that. I should not be proud of that. I saw that thing. Yeah, Australia drinking more units of alcohol per head of population than pretty much anywhere. So, fucking yeah, go us. I'm still going, man. It's only 10 o'clock, and I don't have to get up early in the morning. So, forget. I might go to midnight. Might go for another couple of hours. We'll see. This is pretty good. I'm enjoying this. And now I want to I'm fucking just working my way through. This is just, man, when you make an all booze cocktail, you've got to fucking pace yourself. I probably should drink some more water. I'm going to drink some more water after this. Then I'm gonna, because I haven't had this one for a while. The only reason I bought this the first time I bought it is because it was $20 off, and it's really good. And then I drank it all, and I had some cheaper rums, and I think Abigail's probably off busy. She's having a private chat with Nettie, but every time I get Abigail over here to help me with some tech support, and we do a live stream from here, I do like a tasting. Last time it was a whiskey tasting. I think next time it will be another rum tasting, because I've got a fucking bunch of rums, and we'll do a rum tasting on a stream. So, drunken FB, Australia needs to compete per units of alcohol in your household. Well, obviously, it's going to vary from person to person and household to household. But apparently, at a country level, there was some study that said Australia, drunkest country. God, I was half tempted to bring my video camera in here just to shoot a bit of video so I could see what that looks like. Those lights behind me. Woofed. Don't think I can be bothered, though. I don't think I can be bothered. I'll do it another night. Might do something tomorrow. I don't know. Oh, so Mike, are you saying Australia wasn't number one? I don't know. I just saw some freaking headline about drunk countries. Oh yeah, Safa. I always thought Russia was the drunkest country. I was fucking sure Russia was the drunkest country. Drunken FPV, when you need tech support, drink a 6-pack, punch yourself in the face. Oh no. You've been working on desk support all day. You can ask yourself that question. I would fucking hate to actually have tech support as my job, because people are idiots. People are just fucking idiots. Safa, I don't know if I've recommended it. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to post a link. There's an American comedian called Bert Kreischer. And there's a video of a routine he did he calls himself the Machine, where he got involved with some Russian mafia on a train in Russia. I'm gonna post the link. Okay, I can't play it. I'd love to share screen and play it on the screen, but I'll get fucking content matched. Yes, micro USB knows him, the Machine. Safa, who was born in that part of the world, I think you would enjoy the story. Bert Kreischer, aka the Machine, keeping up shot for shot with Russian mafia dudes on a train who then ended up robbing everyone. It's a funny story. And also, I also love Bert Kreischer is basically my physique, except he's hairier than me. And he has this compulsion of taking his shirt off in his live shows. So there's this guy with my physique who's really hairy with no shirt. It's a thing. It's a whole thing, Bert Kreischer. He's a bit of a unit. Megaleech, world's drunkest countries in 2021, according to a new study. Australia was top. Then Denmark, then Finland, then US, then UK, then Canada, then I don't believe Russia's not on there. I think Russia refused to take part. Drunken, you reckon he's not that hairy? Shooter. I am in a very happy long-term relationship, and Mrs. Angry is literally on the other side of this laptop at the moment, getting some ice cream. I'll throw. Okay, I'm actually going to tell you. This guy on Twitch who said, "I'm drunk. Sorry for saying this, but I bet you get mad pussy." Look, I know, right? He thinks I'm the guy, but I am in a very happy long-term relationship. Delivers everything I want in life, quite honestly. Not least today, we just, like I said, we just had fun. We were just like, let's have an outing. We went to the Tiny Pear Distillery. We did some tastings. We had a cheese plate. We went to a hardware store, and we came home. That was fun. We had a fun day out. It's good. Oh, drunken. I say you're saying you're hairier. Will I take my shirt off? I'm like really hairless compared to Bert Kreischer. I have a little bit of chest hair. I'm not very hairless. I mean, I am very hairless. I'm not very hairy. Oh, shooter, Jesus, what's the key to finding the one? Like, I found Mrs. Angry about 16 years ago. Was it 17 years ago? What's our next anniversary? Is it 17 or is it 18? I don't know. It's always funny when we hit these milestones, like when our relationship became a teenager. That was weird. And so it's 16.
Yeah.
All right. So it's sweet 16, our relationship. And I don't know. You had to wait. And, I am not a young man. So finding the one at about, 40 is very special. I had some great relationships, and I was happy in them, and they didn't work out. And now, I'm super happy. You've got to keep fucking trying, basically. Drunken, I love it. You've got more hair in your ears than I have in my chest. I'm like, I'm not. I could. I honestly don't think anyone's. I could take my shirt off to show that I'm not very hairy. I have a tiny bit of chest hair. I don't know what it is. I'm just not very hairy. Well, let's still get on about how hairy my butt is. Actually, that's Oh my God, Mrs. Angry, she's good. No, don't talk about that. You don't want to get into how hairy your butt is. That's it. Now I'm just going to one of those places where they wax you. Was it back, crack, and sack? So. I know that is not a thing I want to do. I don't want to get my intimate hair waxed. But yeah. So yeah, Megaleech, I think I agree with you. If Russia's not up front in that survey, it's because they were too drunk to actually take part in it. I have a lot of trouble believing Russia's not the drunkest country on the earth. I have a lot of trouble believing that. I don't have much trouble believing that Australia's right up there. Oh, no, Micro, you reckon get the sack waxed? Oof, I'm going to have to find one of those places that does it. The laugh react I got from Mrs. Angry saying I had a hairy butt makes me think maybe I should get it waxed. I don't know. Anyway, so drunken. So between 7 and 18, you were looking in bars and clubs. Bars never worked for me. When I was younger, it was being introduced by friends, being introduced to someone by friend of a friend type thing. But since the 90s, it's been fucking internet dating. I was internet dating before internet dating was a thing. Because I met the mother of my children on IRC, Internet Relay Chat. In fact, this is okay. I haven't said this little factoid for a while, but this is real. My daughter, my firstborn, could possibly, legitimately, be called the world's first internet baby. In as much as the terms I call for that is the two parents were in completely different parts, like different cities. They met through the internet. They would not have met if not for the internet. So at the time, I was in Sydney. My offspring's mother was in Melbourne. I moved to Melbourne. She moved to Sydney to be with me, and then we both moved back to Melbourne when our firstborn arrived, because all her family were here. It's where all the babysitters were, because my family's in the country, and I wasn't going back to the fucking country. So we moved to Melbourne, and I've been in Melbourne for 23 years, coming upon 24 years actually. So that is a real thing. My daughter may be the world's first internet baby. Micro, off to work. I hope you have a good day, man. I hope you have a great fucking day. Rock on, take on the world, kick it in the nuts. Go for it. Shooter, look, okay, straight up. This is the thing. I used to do, and this is about 10 years ago. I did dating advice videos with a female friend of mine. Her screen name was Mistress M. And we did a bunch of dating advice videos. And as a younger guy, what I would say to you is, don't be an arsehole. And that sounds weird, but what I found, and this has been reinforced multiple times, you don't have to do anything special. Just don't be a fucking dickhead. Don't harass women. Don't say, show me your tits. Don't say, send nudes. Just be a reasonable person. Approach the people you are interested in as if they are also people, individuals with their own lives and whatnots. Don't be a dick. Dude, okay, Shooter, I'm going to be absolutely legit with you, man. You feel insecure as a young guy? When I was young, I was so fucking insecure. Honestly, I think I still am. But when I was young, I was fucked. The best thing you can do for yourself, don't be an asshole. Don't be a prick. Realize when you are, and I'm a huge fan of internet. I don't know about swipe left, swipe right. That's not my bag. There's proper things where you put up a profile and interact with people. But anyway, notwithstanding that, I'm old. When you are, I'm a big fan of internet interactions. When you are interacting with someone you are interested in, remember they are an individual human with their own wants, needs, desires, and worldviews. They are not there to service you. Try to be as honest as you can. My biggest failing was probably talking too much, particularly about ex-girlfriends. Don't talk about ex-girlfriends. No one wants to fucking know. Don't do it. That was my biggest. Mrs. Angry told me that almost put her off, that I was fucking talking about my ex. Don't talk about your ex. But also, remember the other person you're not trying to conquer the other person. The other person is an individual with their own wants, needs, and desires. Beast. What's that? Beast. I don't know how to say your username. What if you want to be an asshole? You'll go through life as an asshole. That's just what it's going to be. which is not very rewarding. But Shooter, dude, the fucking insecurity. I feel it, man. I feel you. I feel it. Shit will go wrong. There will be shit will go wrong. There will be upsetting stuff. There will be stuff where you feel like you did everything right and you still got fucked over. That is just the way of the world. You can do everything right and things still don't work out for you. That is just existence. That is human existence. That is not necessarily a reflection on you. That's just the fucking world, man. But remember that other people you are interested in, they are real people. They have their own wants, needs, desires, worldview, everything. You're not trying to conquer them. And as a guy, you will be, this is not a joke. It sounds like I'm joking. It sounds like I'm taking the piss. You will be ahead of 90% of your competition if you're not an asshole. You don't have to do anything special. Just don't be a fucking prick. And this is it. Don't belittle the other person. Don't demean them. Don't say send nudes. Don't say show me your tits. Don't whatever. Just remember they are a person. They are a person and they have their own wants, needs, and desires. If you can just think, I'm just not going to be an asshole. This does not mean things are going to work out for you. This does not mean you will not get disappointments. Life is disappointment. Life is hardship. Tough things happen. And I want to stress this, motherfucking unfair things happen. You can do everything right. You can be a completely decent person and shitty things can still happen. Okay? The world is fucking cruel and uncaring, but you can only control yourself and how you react to things. And it's not always easy. It is not always easy. But the biggest tip I could ever give you as a dude is don't be a dick and you're ahead of 90% of the competition. That sounds like a joke. It sounds like I'm being frivolous. It sounds like I'm being glib, but it's an actual real thing. If you're not a fuckwit, you are ahead of 90% of your competition. That's my wisdom to impart tonight. Was that drunken? Good call. Harder to do than to say, but it is a good call. Throw out your embarrassment. Just go for it. And I feel like you have to accept it won't work sometimes, which is fucking tough. It's fucking tough. And hey, nobody, how you doing, man? The conversation is weird and disjointed tonight, man, because there's a couple of lads on Twitch that are getting very engaged and involved with the chat. And of course, Twitch folk can't see YouTube chat. YouTube folk can't see Twitch chat. So I try to make it clear who I'm talking to when I say these things. So yeah. Shooter, you've never heard the word glib before. Glib is a great word. Glib is, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to dictionary.com. I'm going to say define glib because I'll stop. I know what glib means, but a dictionary definition. Okay, okay, that's nice. It means fluent or insincere, but shallow. It means like you're saying something, but it feels like you don't mean it. You're saying something and you think it's kind of deep, but it's actually really shallow. And that's what I mean when I say don't be a dick. Kind of sounds like I'm being glib, but it's actual real sincere advice. Because too many dudes are fucking dicks. It's embarrassing. It is really embarrassing. The bar for cishet dudes is so low, and so many of them still trip over it. It's fucking pathetic, quite honestly. And the world's complex and weird and fucked up, but we do what we can. We do what we can. Yes, Shooter, big truck rednecks. Fucking hell, man. Assholes. Assholes. Drunken FPV. Agree. Couldn't talk to a girl unless you were drunk. Damn. Never made a connection. One day made the jump. Ask a girl out to have a casual night. Been with her for 20 years. Nice. Really hard. Have to put embarrassment aside. And you agree you're a dick when you were drunk. Probably half the issue. Oh my God. Okay. And I feel like everyone probably has this. But every now and then, I remember something embarrassing I did, and it's like decades ago. And I'll just be sitting there, and this fucking thought pops into my head. Oh, you remember when you did that thing and you made a real knob of yourself publicly? Or particularly, it's like, oh, you remember when you did that thing and made you look like a real fucking idiot in front of that girl that you were trying to impress? And just this feeling of horror and shame and embarrassment comes back to me. I was like, oh my God, that was so long ago. Why does thinking of that still fill me with horror? But it does. Oh, damn. Nobody. Last night's panic attack about a 7 out of 10. Damn. So today is just fucking dealing. Jesus, dude. That's fucking harsh. All right. Where are we? 10:18. I need to drink some water. Oh my God. This was a good lockdown purchase, this fridge. The water dispenser. Oh, I need it. Let's just go. I can fill this up. All right. Some water. Also, how much water is in the water reservoir? I've been drinking. Ooh, the water reservoir is one. Okay. I'm so domestic. I got a water jug over here. I'm going to fill up. Not even fill up. There's not. So I've got my filtered jug here. Put this in the water reservoir so it chills. Pour that in there. You know what I might do? I might have a non-alcoholic beverage. Because I scored some non-alcoholic beverages at the supermarket that sound fucking good. Fever Tree Lime and Yuzu soda. That sounds fucking good. I want to try some. All right. I'm going to put... I now need to refill this water jug. Man. I'm so domestic. Just filling up the water jug. All right. So domestic. Again, I've had these weird right-wing haters over the years who get really upset about, you're not a man. You're not a manly man. It's like, yeah, dude, what did I do today? I fucking stacked the dishwasher and went shopping and did some laundry. I'm just keeping shit around the house operational because that's the way it works. So, Drunken, please, you said this. You had flashes. Oh, you had the same thing. Flashing from things from 15 years ago, and it feels like PTSD. It's fucked. It's so fucked. Ah, okay. So, Shooter McGavin, what's your experience with panic attacks? Because everyone's experience is always interesting. So again, a regular on the chat who's on YouTube with a screen name Nobody was saying that. What do you think, mate? Your car GPS max speed reading says 143 kilometers an hour. Tightish corner you had to slow for. Oh no. Smelling burning brake. Okay, that sounds like a stressful fucking day, man. That sounds stressful. Yep, drunken FPV. I fucking agree, man. And this is one of the things we do try to do on the chat here on Channel Angry. Share, be honest, be supportive, be open, because very few people experience things that they are the only one to experience. We regularly feel, and I include myself in this, we regularly feel we're the only one who feels like this, and it's just not true. Sophie's saying panic attacks suck. I remember my older brother telling me one time about, he called it the fear. He said, there's this thing where sometimes I wake up and it feels like something's sitting on my chest and I can't breathe properly. And I think terrible things are going to happen during the day and I don't know what to do. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's called a panic attack. And he was so relieved. He said, is that a thing? Is that a real thing? I went, it's a real thing. You can just go to a GP and talk about it. And there's a couple of ways to deal with it. So, Shooter, you went to hospital. You were diagnosed with a panic disorder. You learned to deal and cope, so you feel educated and experienced. Nice. I'm really happy that you feel like you've made headway. Okay, here's a bit of trivia. Mrs. Angry is a psychologist. She's a counselor. She works for the Government Health Service. And she has a couple of therapeutic techniques. She sometimes tests things out on me. There's one called EMDR, which is really good. And there's a slightly more experimental one that's called either EFT or tapping. They're amazing techniques. Don't underestimate counseling and modern psychological therapeutic techniques. They can be very good. Yes, nobody. Do your best to keep living, but brother, someone of considerable importance got triggered by the idea of you drying, seeing that PTSD drives home the message. Yes, yeah. So, again, the world's fucking complex. Hello, Mimsy. Mimsy? Okay, my fucking cat, who might come up here and say hello. You going to come up and say hello? Where are you? You fucking shit of a cat. She's, okay, Mimsy, my cat, has been, and she did it earlier tonight. She did it to me the other day, either yesterday or Thursday. My work desk is there. I've been working from home for 20 months. And I'm sitting there at my computer, my laptop, and she just goes just over there where there's some boxes right next to me, and just fucking looks at me and just pisses against the boxes. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And she just did it earlier tonight in the next room. So I don't know what your problem is, cat. But it's not on, okay? What are you doing? You want to come up and say hello? Everyone thinks you're cute. They don't know that you piss on things. No, you're going to fuck off. Okay, fine. Nice, Shooter. Therapy saved your life. You think people are going to feel it? Yeah. No, don't. Look, and it's complex. Mental health is complex. Therapeutic techniques are complex. Whether it involves drugs or not, there are, for a range of mental health issues, there are pharmaceutical approaches that for some people are the best option. But the pharmaceutical approach is complex. You may initially or long-term have problems. It's complex and you need to adapt. But even non-pharmaceutical therapeutic techniques are complex. They can take a while. The same thing doesn't work the same way for everyone. But you just got to slog through. Drunken, don't encourage me saying dealing with cats like that is a slow cooker. I was real fucking angry. She just like right next, she wasn't trying to hide. She sits right next to me and just starts pissing on some boxes. And I was like, what the fuck? And then apparently she did it in the next room about the time I was starting this live stream. I think she's senile. I think she's like 16 years old. In cat years, that's fucking ancient. I think she's actually getting sick. I think she's going to die soon, which, don't want to sound like a downer. So, Shooter, you didn't take the pills they wanted. Talk through everything, made you feel better. Hard to cope sometimes, but life's a blessing. I like. Nice. And again, for some people, and here's the weird thing, mental health is so complex. Mental health is so complex. When you're struggling with mental health issues, sometimes it's a result of trauma. Sometimes it's a result of an acute trauma. Sometimes it's a result of a low-level, long-term, consistent trauma. Sometimes there's no trauma at all, and your brain chemistry is just fucked up. Because fucking brains do that. Brains lie to you, which is the weirdest thing, but it's very important to understand. Your fucking brain can lie to you. It tells you things that aren't true. Um, so, for some people, some cases, uh, pharmaceutical intervention is the best option in conjunction with therapy. For other people, pharmaceutical intervention doesn't work or isn't a good idea, and non pharmaceutical therapeutic techniques are the go. For a lot of people, it's a combination. Um, my big thing would be don't give up. If you're having struggles, as hard as it is, because that's again using the glib word again, glib. It sounds glib to say don't give up, but that's the biggest thing. Don't give up. Yeah, shooter, I agree. Mental health should be discussed openly all the time because you do have to learn how to understand your brain. And again, like I said, and that's well, the other thing is mental health issues can be caused by physical trauma, like a blow to your brain can end up causing mental health problems. Um, we're very complex. We are really complex meat bags. And I think we deny a lot how complex we are and how many moving parts we are and how susceptible all the different parts are to something going wrong. Um, and there's no shame in acknowledging something goes wrong. Like nobody feels shame on I broke my leg, so I'm getting medical help. No one feels shame for that. But there's this weird thing where it can be shame inducing to have, oh, I have mental health problems and I need help. That can be shame inducing and it shouldn't be. Um, sorry, just thought because I have a lot of friends who have physical disabilities, and they tell me quite regularly how physical disability can be a source of shame because people give you a hard fucking time. Hi, Nettie. Thank you for coming back. I hope you were able to have a good chat. Uh, Shooter, how do you give me money? My friend, I have a quite well paying job and I thoroughly appreciate the fact you're trying to express your gratitude. If this discussion is helping you and is making you feel like I should help someone, then just find a good charitable cause and give them some money. There are a million good causes. Oh, nice, Nettie. You had a good chat with Abigail. Well, that's good. Um, uh, Shooter, I'm really glad you came into the chat tonight, man. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. What do? I work in IT. I work in cybersecurity. I'm a business analyst, and I get paid really well. This shit is fun. This is unwinding and fun and hanging out and whatnot. My, again, I have because I've been on YouTube for like 16 years and uh, or 15 and a half years anyway. I have at various times thought, "Oh, I'd like to be a full-time YouTuber. But as it goes, like to make more money from YouTube than I do from my day job, I'd have to be in the top 1% of the top 1%. That simply isn't going to happen. So I just have fun. I just have fun and I chill out. Shooty, you love the Oz community. The community we have here on the chat is very good. Because as soon as someone's not a good part of the community, they go bye-byes. Because I'm not desperate to have viewers or followers or whatever. If someone's a piece of shit, I will block them. I don't want to see them again because fuck them. Oh, shit, shooter. 23-year-old making great money for retiring early. Ugh, God, dude. Okay, this is the one thing I will say that I wish I knew more clearly when I was your age, but it kind of worked out for me anyway. Like, I didn't have a proper job until I was 27, but follow what you love. You know how you probably do it. You get told family and whatnot say you should do this. This would be a safe job. You should do. Don't pursue your passion. Pursue the safe job. What I have learned is if you pursue things that you love or that you enjoy or that you can tolerate, there is a very high chance that ends up leading to a job that pays you. So get a better understanding of yourself, what you want most, and pursue that. So Mega Leech, use crystal kitty litter. You had a cat that used to piss in boxes when you shed. Switch to cardboard kitty litter, stop shredding boxes. I don't know. See, we've been using the same kitty litter forever, and Mimsy's suddenly being weird. It's because she's fucking senile. Struck and it hits home. Girlfriend had a head injury in 1999, a few years before you met her. It's crazy how people will subconsciously pick up there's something different in the interaction. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Oh, Jesus Christ. Shooter, if you, at 23, have a job in the US that pays 80K, you're doing pretty goddamn good, my friend. You are doing pretty goddamn good. I would, if for some reason it's not feeling like it's spiritually fulfilling or something, but it's like safe and pays money, I would think of two things. One thing would be find, if not your actual boss, someone who could be a mentor in the place you work, and where you say like, I want to do something, I want to achieve this, or just get your fulfillment outside of work. That would be my big thing. Okay, so the job's not fulfilling and it's stressful. Okay, my first impulse would be find something outside of work that is more fulfilling, that makes you feel whole. And there's a huge spectrum that could be. I don't know about where you work or if there's any opportunities, but it sounds like you're doing well at the moment from a job point of view. I would be trying to find someone who could fill a mentor role and tell them like, oh, okay, like I'm happy because the job's secure, it pays this. What I would like to get out of work is this. So I don't know. But you've got time. My big thing to you would be you have time. So yeah, keep looking for shit that fulfills you, man. And Justin, it is a fair point that most controversial things on YouTube get demonetized. But what you have to do if you want to pursue shit on YouTube is you have to build up a community. So you've got people following and watching. So even if YouTube won't monetize you, you can get sponsors because you've got an audience. So you've got to do something that an audience wants. Yeah, Megaleech, maybe Mimsy's just discovered the joy of pissing on cardboard. We'll see. I don't know. She goes through moods. Nettie, you like your mechanical kitty litter tray? Maybe I'll look into that. I don't know. Okay. Drunken FPV, Dave Ramsey's YouTube channel. What does Dave Ramsey talk about on YouTube? I am not familiar with Dave Ramsey. Maybe I could look him up because I'm on the internet and I can do that. I can open YouTube and go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Dave Ramsey. Okay, what does Dave Ramsey do on YouTube? He's an old bugger. What are his videos? Should I invest? Girlfriend's bringing a student loan. Oh, it's financial advice. Okay. All right. There you go. The Ramsey Show. Dave Ramsey gives financial advice. There you go. Oh, Shooter knows him. Okay. Megaleech, do we have separate kitty litter for each cat? I don't think so. That's Mrs. Angry's territory. I refuse to deal with the fucking cats. So Drunken FB, thing with YouTube, everyone's banging on about making money, going back to the roots, YouTube posting fun videos, fun and not money. Dave Ramsey's financial advice, life lessons. Well, see, okay, that's why I have a cocktail channel on YouTube. because it's fun. So that's what. Okay, I'm gonna have a little. I haven't had this rum for a while. I really liked it when I had it before. I'm not gonna have a big drink because I'm gonna have a non-alcoholic drink again. I finished that water. I'm gonna drink some more non-alcoholic drink, but I'm just gonna have a little bit of rum. Justin, you left your old job because it wasn't aligned to your career direction. That's good. Having the confidence to leave a job if it's not right for you is very important. And I absolutely acknowledge there's a whole bunch of variables in there. That's not Shooter. Is it greedy to want to make a fuck ton of money? Not really. Who doesn't want to be in a position where they don't have money troubles? I don't want to have money troubles. I am probably better off now than I ever thought I would be. I grew up in a country town. My dad had his own business as a photographer. Big family, like Catholic family, 10 kids. So basically, I was white trash. I was poor white trash. Weren't living on welfare, but I think by most measures, I'm white trash. Okay. But particularly like when I was at school as a teenager, if you could have said to me like, you're going to get these jobs that you actually kind of enjoy and actually pay you this much money, I'd be like, no fucking way. I'm not going to have that much money. Like enough money to build up a stupidly large alcohol collection. That's a ridiculous amount of money there. It took me years to build it up, but it's a fucking stupid amount of money I spent on it. So Megalish saying Mimsy may need a separate kitty litter. Shadow may have one kitty litter dominant. You may be right. I don't know. I'll actually say that to Mrs. Angry. She was really pissed off at Mimsy earlier, pissing again. Oh my God. This rum, the Diplomatico Reserva, it smells like molasses, which is the base of rum. So it's not surprising. It smells like molasses. It's just so sweet. This big glass is great because it traps all the aromas. I can get my nose right in there. Oh, it smells so sweet. This rum is so easy to drink. Like it's just, straight rum on ice. My God, that is so easy to drink. So, Drunken, you're working in IT, hanging on for at least 12 months. You'll be mortgage free. Nice. Feeling a bit burnt out. Worked in IT for 14 years. Can't see it progressing further. Lost interest in self-educating. Few areas you're interested in. Any advice? Should look for another path. Mortgage gets paid. Keep in mind, girlfriend needs brain surgery. Got 50 days sick leave. Okay. The easiest thing is if you can find something that's like a sideways move. It's basically in the field you are now, IT, but maybe something you're more interested in. Like I've just been in cybersecurity for the last 3 years, and turns out I'm good at it, and cybersecurity expertise is in demand. And I like it because it gives my brain a workout. A lot of what I do, and okay, forgive me, everyone, I'm getting into some of my nerdy talk now. A lot of the way my brain works is I'm into very process-oriented stuff. Like when I look at a situation like we have a problem, a thing's going wrong, we need to make a thing go right. And so I go, okay, current situation, what happens, who's involved? This is the current situation. These are all the people who are involved. This is what happens. It goes from here to here to here. We go, there are these decision points. There are these handoff points. This is the problem. And I go, okay, what's the bright and shining future? We've got this problem, this bright and shining future. And then I define what's different. What's different between problem and bright and shining future? And I go, these are the things that are different. I go, okay, what steps do we have to take to get to the bright and shining future? And I just break it down step by step and say, okay, so currently it goes, problem. So what we have to do is and so I'm very process oriented, and I'm good at identifying current problems and then coming up with a process that will address problems. And people hate change. People hate change, including me. So my job is often to say to someone, yeah, look, I'm talking about a change and we all hate change, but this is why we are going to put the effort in to make the change, because current situation is shit. But if we make these changes, we get bright and shining future. That's the nerdy way I do my work. So Shooter, thank you for the vibes. You're going to head to bed. Thanks, man. I do try to be genuine. I try to be honest. I try to be genuine. Thank you for dropping in. It's actually been incredibly enjoyable for me to talk to you. So chill, dude. Fucking have a sleep, man. It's 10:43. I'm probably good. I've got somewhere between, I don't know, half an hour and an hour left in me, I think. We'll see how I go. Fuck me. Okay. I'm really glad I got this rum again. It's so good. It is such a drinkable rum. It's just this one's a sipper. This is what I call a sipper. A lot of rums, I want to make cocktails with them because rum cocktails fucking rock. I love rum cocktails. But this is a sipper. This is one you can just put on ice and just go, that's good. Oh. Justin, I do live in a fairly wealthy part of the country. And you think I've done well. I've done so much better than I ever thought I would do. Like, Jesus, just go back to my 20s. And if you could visit me in my 20s and go, oh, dude, you are going to end up here and you're going to have this much money. And I'd be like, fuck, are you kidding? This, like, seriously, my income at the moment is at a level I could not have fucking imagined when I was in my 20s. And again, I'm not a millionaire. I don't own property. I'm not wealthy, but I'm just doing better than I ever thought I would, basically. Drunken, thanks for the advice. Been missing being able to bounce things off your dad. Man, I'll be internet dad. Sorry, that gets weird. Don't call me daddy. Sorry, I did it. But yeah, the reason I do these streams is so we can hang out and chat. And it was very much like I started this at the early days of the pandemic, because it's like, oh man, this is all fucked, isn't it? We're like all at home. None of us know what's happening. It's horrible and stressful. And let's just hang out and keep each other company. Yes. Mega Leech, I am the internet daddy. Oh my God. So wrong. So fucked up. Safa, I saved you from craziness. Brother, you saved me from craziness. Because I was doing my angry videos, my angry pre-recorded videos, and I paused and went, all I am doing is doing rants about Trump and rants about COVID. I'm just saying the same thing over and over, and it is fucking doing my head in, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I started doing these streams, and these streams are so therapeutic. They're so positive in comparison. I'm going to try this. Non-alcoholic drink time. Fever Tree, lime and yuzu soda. I like Fever Tree drinks, tonics and sodas. This is just from Woolworths. I think it was just in Woolworths. I got this. So if you go crazy. Oh my God, if we're in dial-up internet, Jesus, that would be terrible. So Drunken, one time a girl called you Big Daddy. She invited a few friends around the next day. You were hosting a creche for 25-year-old girls on weekends. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's good. Fuck me, that's good. Oh my God, this would be good with rum. Fucking lime. Or tequila, actually. Oh man. Wow, this would make a good highball. With pretty much anything, actually. It tastes really good. I'm thinking this in a highball with ice. I mean, with anything, with gin or rum or whiskey or tequila. Oh, it would be good. Is that Safa? How overloaded would 2G networks be if it happened back then? Well, that was the thing, man. I'm old enough that I remember when you're like looking for porn on Usenet groups. That meant still images because video just wasn't possible. And when you're trying to download a still image of porn, just waiting for the pixely image to resolve and refresh is just the fact that still images used to take longer to download than video does today is wild. Justin, there is no doubt I'll be an internet granddaddy. On one level, I really like that idea. Like maybe, if I just stay on the internet and hang and chill and whatnot, in 10 years, I can just revel in being like internet granddad and just dispense wisdom. Fucking hell. Jesus. So I kind of feel like I'd enjoy that. Because it's like that transition to granddad is when you don't have to be serious about shit anymore. Because granddad gets to spoil the grandchildren. The parents have to be responsible and raise the children. Grandparents don't have to fucking worry about that shit. You just get to spoil the grandchildren, but also dispense words of wisdom. I could do that. So Drunken FPV on Twitch. You remember when you were 15 years old, waiting for pages to load? Would load 20 browser pages at once, so you didn't know what's loading next. World Teams was. I remember. This is when you used to get like magazines because the internet wasn't fast enough to load really long articles and photos on web pages. So you're still buying magazines. They're like magazines about websites, and they would have a disc on the cover with sample programs and whatnot. And I remember one of them once having one, and the program was designed to scrape Usenet sites for graphic files and download them in the background. And the person who was reviewing the apps that were on the disc on that month's cover was like, I don't know, this one seems kind of dumb. All it does is like download graphics. And I was like, dude, are you that fucking stupid? This is to get porn off the internet. This is like, I don't want to wait for stuff to download. I want to load this program and point it at the Usenet group that has the porn images on it and just fucking download them all while I'm at work. And then I can come home and I'll have the porn on my computer. She's like, what do you mean you don't understand why people just want to download graphic files from Usenet groups? They're after porn, dude. They're after porn. But yes, it's very funny having lived through the dial-up days. I actually had one of my contract jobs going way back. I was actually working for the, government phone company here, Telstra. when they were first trying to make ISDN work, the first sort of broadband internet. It was actually quite a complex thing to do, to introduce a new technology to the phone network, to let people have broadband internet. It's kind of fun doing it. Abigail, what was the app for research purposes? You're asking me to remember an app from the 90s? That just reminded me of one of the favorite things that makes me laugh about the internet now. Like, we were talking earlier about hot tub streams on Twitch, which I think are fucking hilarious. And the ASMR streams on Twitch that are somehow sexual, but nothing actually sexual happens on them. And you get these dudes being obsessed about them. And I'm like, porn exists, right? Like free porn on the internet. There is literally more free porn on the internet than you can possibly consume. I do not understand why you are obsessing about this stuff. It's fucking... Oh, Abigail, you want to join? I am fucking bang up for Angry Bunch. So here is the link for anyone who wants to join. Angry Bunch. I have been talking by myself for 2.5 hours. Drunken FPV. When you go back to the innocent days of port scanning. Oh dear. Routers in New Zealand had public-facing logins with default admin passwords using asterisk ASCII characters to reveal programs, get passwords, user ADSL names, directly correlate to email address. Everyone had the same password. So you had their life in your hands. Oh, wow. Dr. Abigail, how you doing?
Hello. Look what I found in hard rubbish.
A ring light.
A ring light. It was
works.
Slightly broken.
Yeah.
But not broken enough to defeat my skills at fixing things.
Nice.
I know, and it's like got all these. Oh shit!
Oh, look at that!
It's got all these settings for like softness of light, and you can like pump it up or turn it down.
Yeah,
and I know. Nice. Cool, huh?
That is cool.
So now I don't have to put on like this the big light.
Adjustable ring lights. Adjustable ring lights are great.
That's so good. It feels flimsy, but it just works. And what a find! I found that today. I'm also eating. So I hope people don't mind. I'm just eating some.
We'll call it a mukbang.
Also, like
drinking some cola. So
my son is not here, so out of the bottle, and it's like my one vice now, because I used to drink a liter of Coke every day and sometimes more, and then quit, and now like weekends I'll buy a bottle. It's fine.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers way up.
Oh, it was killing me, I think.
Yeah, I drink so much more Pepsi Max than is good for me. It's very bad. But I drink a lot of it. Drunken FPV, the ring light's what you see in people's glasses. That became a thing that people did deliberately. I forget how long ago, but you would get models doing this thing, not even in the glasses. The ring lights would be reflected in their eyes.
It came with this. And it sits in the middle of the light, so you can mount it like a camera, right there. It's like this adjustable thing.
Yes.
And so you're looking right at the camera around this ring light.
Yeah.
So but I just want a backlight, I just want to, I had had this thing, which is a lamp, but that was too bright, and this thing's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I brought a ring light during lockdown. You saw Megaleech saying,
I just saw Megaleech's comment. Yeah.
"Are you sure you want to
look,
eat banana-like food?"
You know me. I'm nothing if not suggestive.
Yeah. Oh, yes. One of my lockdown purchases was a ring light. My one, besides having the adjustable intensity, it had clip-on things. One was just a diffuser, so the light, it broke up the light a bit. But the other one's an orange filter, which is really good for making warmer flesh tones on it.
Mm.
And after consulting some YouTube videos and doing it, my recent adaptation, really I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks to change the lighting. I used to have the ring light over there and I wouldn't point it straight at me. I'd actually bounce it off the back wall or the ceiling, which was diffusing it a bit. But what I do now, I'm not shooting videos tonight, so I have it over there and I bounce it off the wall there.
Oh yeah.
And so one side of my face gets a soft orange highlight and it's just more interesting lighting. So I'm experimenting.
Lighting's a really complex thing for camera.
It is.
That's why riggers make so much money.
Yes.
On film.
The people who make stuff look good make a lot of money. Yes.
Well, like I mean, the lighting sets a tone for a scene. In much the same way as music or like dialogue. So
yeah. Yes, this is my nerdy. You just made me think. My nerdy thing with visual media, TV series, and movies and whatnot. I always sit in anticipation when I watch something new. Well, either when I watch a movie for the first time or the first episode of a new TV show, I'm fascinated with what's the first thing you're going to show us. What is it?
Yeah,
and the music comes in as well. What's the first thing you're going to present to us? Because you only get the first shot only happens once. So I really
it's
look
first
forward
impressions. First impressions are important.
It's a real big thing because I think how much effort are you putting in to the very first thing we get? And because if I watch something and I go, I don't feel like you put any effort into that at all, then I have misgivings. I have misgivings about everything that's going to happen from then on.
So I just got some really good news via text.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to share it, but
yeah, that's good.
Like made my day just then.
Good. Like just knowing that you got good news is great. And speaking of good news, Nettie's joining us.
Nettie,
hello.
Hi. You're muted, Nettie.
Yeah, at your end, I didn't mute you.
Yeah, you're still muted.
You're still muted, by the way.
There we are.
Now you're here. Now you're here.
I'm going to get a glass, and I'm going to have have a drink. Like, I'll be back in a sec.
Yay, drinks!
I've been enjoying drinks tonight. And I have to make. I've got to try. The Frank was good.
So what's the Frank?
It was weird. I just found it by following the links. It's 6 different alcoholic beverages. It's all alcohol. There is no component that isn't alcohol. And so it's a really complex drink. It's 15 mils mezcal, 15 mils tequila, 15 mils bitter aperitivo, 15 mils amaro, 15 mils dry vermouth, and 15 mils sweet vermouth. And it was good. There's a kitty. There's the kitty.
Kitty.
Kitty. It was good. Like I just randomly found it and went, the Frank. That is such a funny name for
It's a good name.
It's a great name.
Like it's an easy name for when you're really already pissed.
Yeah.
And you're using the notebook method.
Oh, Yeah, you are my inspiration for using the notebook. So I
There
wrote
was a
the
kitty
same
at my
thing.
foot, and I had to touch it.
The other, I need to try this one, Love and Murder.
Yes,
Again, how good is that name? How good is that name
it's
for a
brilliant.
cocktail? Love and
Is it a
Murder.
goth drink? It sounds like a
Yeah.
goth drink.
I feel like in terms of my cocktail channel on YouTube, I want to save that for Valentine's Day next year because Love and Murder captures all the moods. Either you're into it, but it's 1 ounce. They say Campari. I'm not going to use Campari because I fucking hate Campari. But 1 ounce of a bitter aperitivo, 1 ounce green chartreuse, which is a pretty intense taste, 1 ounce lime juice, 3/4 ounce simple syrup, 4 drops of saline. I'm going to make that. I'm going to make that. So you're all both here.
So nobody just got my reference, my song reference
Okay.
when I said that.
Oh, you mean nobody?
Nobody, nobody
got your reference.
Yeah.
Best
That was
screen
a
name.
reference to a song by the presidents of the United States of America, or whatever they're called.
Yeah. They were a fun band.
They were great. They had 2 albums, and I enjoyed them both.
Yeah, they lasted for a couple of years. They had some great singles and
Peaches
Peaches.
was great. Yeah, yum.
I like that one.
Okay,
Volcano. That was a fun
it
one.
is really, really okay. You've seen it. It's the Lux Brew Sakura.
Yeah.
So dangerous. So dangerous.
I think you missed
shouldn't have
this.
it sitting right next to your bed.
Yeah.
Like I do. You shouldn't do that because you'll drink until 3 in the morning.
I'm going to go
and then go to some important meeting at 10 in the morning and hungover.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Nettie. I don't keep alcohol next to my bed. But I think you missed.
Either.
Yeah, I think you missed this. I went out today to the Tiny Bear Distillery and got this. They're only 5 minutes away from Lux Brew. So Mrs. Anger and I made this thing. We're going to go out to Tiny Bear. It's because it's half an hour away from my place. We're going to go to Tiny Bear, do a tasting, and then I looked and went, well, Lux Brew is only 5 minutes away, so we should go there while we're there. Lux Brew was closed. It was weird. I don't know what was going on there. I thought they'd be open. But we did tastings, and I got this. This is a barrel-aged gin. This is their Navy strength gin. So this is 58% alcohol. So it's a real fucking fierce gin. And after they distilled the gin, they then aged it for a while in ex-bourbon barrels. And so that's why it's got this color, because it's been aged. And it's got the aroma and taste. And then I made an old-fashioned with this. And I swear to God, if someone had handed me that and said, this is a whiskey old-fashioned, I would have believed them. Like the flavors in that are frigging amazing. So
cool.
Drunken FPV saying if the alcohol's lasting longer than the sleep time, you're not doing it right. I think I can remember one instance where I hit it really hard one night and then woke up the next morning. I was in the bathroom and shit, and I was going, what the fuck is wrong? And then I went, I'm still drunk. It's like it's 8 hours.
I hit your wife that hard once too, and 8 hours later, I was like, God, I'm still can't believe I'm still drunk.
But I literally think that's only happened once when I woke up and I was feeling weird.
It's happened more than once for us. So.
And
sorry, I'll stop.
We'll stop. But that was the thing. Mrs. Angry said to me one morning that I woke up and I was still reeking of alcohol. And I'm like, whatever. And then I felt weird. And I think she actually said, yeah, you're still drunk. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I went, oh, I think I am. It's like 8 hours after my last drink and I'm still legally drunk. What the fuck did I do last night?
Yep. Yep.
Bad.
So
Yeah.
Grasshopper hasn't been here for a while, so I need to like drop a your wife reference. I just
Is
like
he there? I haven't. Oh, so no, sorry. 'Cause
no,
he hasn't
no,
been
he hasn't been here for a
doing it to
while.
me.
So
No. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm picking my teeth with a toothpick live on stream.
That's fair. Drunken saying being drunk through to 12 p.m. went to bed 2 a.m. Oh, you know what? Okay, I genuinely hate. I rarely do the day drinking because I hate sobering up while I'm awake. It's like you're going through the whole, oh, it's drunk, I was happy, and then it's like I'm still I'm sobering up. No, that fucking sucks. I prefer to sober up while I'm asleep. I'm drink in the
Mhm.
evening and go to sleep
I
and then wake up.
find that sometimes I've sobered up doing sexy things, and that's the best. That
I was
like
about to say that
getting
sounds pretty good.
That'll get it out of your system. Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Little
pretty
bit of
good
adrenaline.
way to
This is what
get
happens.
sober.
This is what happens when you keep the pretty pink bottle next to your bed. Yeah, you just do this, and there's no ice or mixer. It's just fucking delicious.
Yeah, I've still got a couple of the Lux Brew ones over there. They make really nice liqueurs.
They do. It's so good.
Very good. And the whole Australian bush food thing, I'm a fan of. Not that Sakura is Australian bush food, but they do a bunch of Australian bush food liqueurs, which are really good.
Yeah, they do.
All right, I'm
good.
going to leave you two for a second. I think I need a very brief toilet break so I can stay focused. And I'll be back in a second, or 30 seconds, a minute, something.
Uh-oh. You know what that means?
What?
It's up to us to entertain
It's
people.
up to us to be entertained. I mean, entertaining. Sorry.
Mega Leech
Someone's
going
sending-
on about the Dune movie.
Somebody is sending me.
Yeah.
text messages.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, not somebody.
There's
Nobody.
It's nobody in particular.
Nobody in particular.
I have watched Dune, Mega Leech, but only on my computer. I mean, I have a huge monitor on my computer, but I desperately want to see it in IMAX. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, when's that happening? When's that going to happen?
Don't know yet. We need a project manager to manage this project, because getting a whole bunch of people focused on one thing is so hard sometimes, especially like something like a movie.
Hey, I've got to have
like
my birthday party.
Yes.
Remember, you were going to organize it for me.
Oh, that was
That was
yes.
2 lockdowns ago.
Yeah. Lockdowns happened. There better not be another one. I swear.
Fuck lockdowns.
I can't have another lockdown.
No, well, the government's, and I'm not talking about Morrison because he's a fucking lying sack of shit. Dan Andrews has been very clear. Their overwhelming desire is to never have another general lockdown. But none of us can predict the future. But their desire is, if shit goes a bit squirrely, to do more targeted interventions. But it's too weird. None of us can predict the future. It's all fucking weird and fucked up. Yeah. Look at these weird corn chips. They're strips. Instead of the normal sort of triangle corn chip shape, they're strips. Yeah.
Everyone's eating on stream.
It's a mukbang. It's a three-way mukbang. Okay. Oh.
Hey, are we gonna have gee, yeah, that was And shall we have a Christmas live stream here on the 17th?
That's okay. That's a plan. That's something to put in your diary, folks. We have a plan to meet up at Nettie's in about 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from yesterday, Friday the 17th, to do a pre-Christmas live stream from Nettie's place. And I don't want to preempt anything, but we may well go out in the city before the live stream. So we might be scuttered before the live stream even starts. So it
Unfortunately, I don't have any martinis pre-mixed.
Oh, that's okay. We'll just chill. Yeah. Yeah, if we might go out to a couple of places in the city. So we might have quite a night on the 17th. I'm thinking.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That'll be great.
I'll probably, I might bottle a couple of cocktails and bring them. I don't know.
Cool.
But it would be fun to go to one or two places in the city, I think.
Yeah.
There's a bar that I've been wanting to try out called the Highland Bar. Okay. And I think it's a bit. My monitor needs cleaning.
Oh no.
It seems to be a sort of Scotch whiskey and hard rock bar combined.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm into that.
And it's on a very, very old street called Highlander Lane.
Oh, I know Highlander Lane.
You know Highlander Lane? Next to Rutherford Glen House, which is it's a bit of a what do you call it? A bit of a social legend. Some bloke lives there, Peter somebody, I can't remember his name, but he's kind of like the Melbourne. Who's the guy who owned Penthouse or Playboy?
Bob Guccione.
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. He seems to be a Melbourne Larry Flint.
Okay.
And he lives next door. He's very old now.
So I'm looking at the Highlander Bar website. What's on? It's
about a block and a half from my place.
Christmas. Okay, they haven't really updated their website for a while. Okay. Free comedy on Wednesdays. Bucky Bombs.
Bucky Bomb? What?
I don't know. Free $5 Bucky Bombs. I don't know what that is. They do bar snacks. I'd prefer not to. Oh yeah, no. They do snacks. But yeah, I'd prefer not to be in a place that has live music. Honestly.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I don't mind trying. Yeah, if you want to try a place out, I'll go there for a drink or not.
Maybe we could do a tour, and we could just we could meet here, start with Highlander Bar, and then carry on. I just like to.
Yeah.
Look, I stopped by there, and I thought they were nice guys, and I felt a bit bad because they weren't getting much. They're really tucked away, and people don't find them, so I felt bad for them because they've lost a lot of clientele.
No, I'd love to check it out. Definitely love to check it out.
Just one drink and then go on a pub crawl.
Oh, yeah. see what's what is my plan. It's like start there. If we feel like staying longer, stay longer. Otherwise, there are so many bar venues in the CBD. It's ridiculous. But that sounds like a plan. So yes, folks, look out for it. Friday the 17th, pre-Christmas live stream. We're probably going to be legless before we even start the live stream.
Yeah. And, we should take Ali with us, but then that would leave Shaylee on her own. So,
Well, we wouldn't be out that long. We
wouldn't be out that long. We'd be back by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, nobody.
Yeah, nobody's meds kicking is going to head off.
Yeah.
Okay. Good Hi, sweetie.
Yeah. That's cute. Good night, nobody.
Nobody and I have been talking a lot on Discord. Angry.
That's cool. That's all cool. Sorry. About it's almost like the Terminator, that thing where 20 possible responses clocked past my eyes. Don't say any of them. Don't say any of them. All these possible responses went past. It was like none of those. Just let that one go through to the keeper. Basically, it's it's all good. All right.
Yeah, well, suffice to say, he's the reason why I drank this until 3 a.m.
Oh dear. That's
He's a
funny.
very naughty boy.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Oh.
Exactly.
I have got to stop buying bottles of things. I had basically
You're stopping yourself.
Angry.
Yeah.
I can't let you do that. How else am I going to get drunk?
You've got to fucking drink. I need to empty a couple bottles.
All right, let's do some tech support.
Yeah, I mean, for fuck's sake. No, seriously, for the 17th, I think I'm going to bottle some cocktails and bring them over, just to fucking clear up some shelf space here. I was like, 2 weeks ago, I was being pretty responsible, and I'm like, oh yeah, look, I empty. There's actually a bit of shelf space. I could buy 1 or 2 things. 20 bottles later, it's just, that's an exaggeration. I haven't actually bought 20 bottles, but it was just like I just keep buying shit, and it's like, oh, but it was such a good deal, or it's such a good drink, and it's, oh my god, why have I bought so much in the last 2 weeks? So I have to stop. But we're coming up to Christmas, New Year's. It's like,
slow down.
Oh, stop. I mean, temporarily. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A temporary pause.
It's like me with Afterpay. I love Afterpay. I can afford amazing things that I could never afford, but sometimes I just have to stop and pay them off before I keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I did the other night? You know that like last weekend when Angry had gone away. So we were all
on Discord.
Okay, me and Abigail and Nobody and Laura, we were all having various chats on Discord, and I had a lot, and I felt very generous at the end of all of this, and I had a rather full cart on Gorman, and I just went,
oh no. Yep.
Not even with Afterpay.
Oh man. Drunken spending. I've bought some weird shit over the years. Yeah.
Yeah. They turned up today and they sent the wrong thing as well.
Oh, damn it.
I was trying to take advantage of the sales, of course, because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that rubbish.
Yeah.
And they sent me this big daggy dress I don't want instead of the funky purple.
What does it look like?
Funky purple blouse I wanted. But yeah, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm set for summer. I'm not allowed to buy any more clothes, and all these things. That's what my kids are giving me for Christmas. It's amazing how they know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got like 20 of these fucking cocktail themed shirts now, so I have to really control myself and say, don't buy any more, because all the sites I clicked on keep sending me stuff, and it's like the other day I went through one and I found like another half dozen shirts I really liked, and I was just clicking through. I like that one. I like that one, and I was just like, "Don't buy them. Don't buy them." It's just it's
So I have
ridiculous.
a new rule. I have a new rule.
Yeah.
Don't fill the cart with possibilities. Use the list, for fuck's sake.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Just in
Okay.
case. Because how many times have I bought things because you're raving about them on the live stream?
Yes.
And
I have been responsible for a few of your purchases. That's true.
a few of my
And mine.
mystery deliveries. Angry, what did I buy? What the hell?
Okay. Lime juice and simple syrup. Okay. I'm gonna make this love and murder to see what it's like.
Can I show off an art that I did a while back?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Cool.
Art?
Just give me.
You did
Yes.
art?
I did art.
Yeah.
Arting. Awesome. That's lovely.
That's
That's
painted
so whimsical.
nice.
I love it.
with in acrylic.
Really?
Acrylic paint. So,
Gorgeous.
well, yeah,
That's lovely.
thank you.
Yep. No, I really like that.
Cool, thanks.
Well, it's got a ducky in it.
Oh yeah, of course it does.
Ducky.
A ducky
And
and
a
a cat
kitty,
and
I
a
think.
kitten. Yes. And do you know how hard it is to draw the silhouette of a girl sitting cross-legged and not make it look like a penis? Because that's what she looked like for a bit, but I think I've gotten it to look less phallic and more person-like. So I don't know if I mentioned this. Yes,
I would not have thought she was a penis.
excellent, mission accomplished. So yesterday I was hanging out with a friend, and we were at the Napier Hotel having lunch. The one with the uterus and ovaries in the stained glass windows.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So we were there having lunch, and as we were leaving, she was in context. The Napier Hotel is right next to the Fitzroy Learning Network, is where I go to do my crochet, and they're doing an art class, which I'm going to go join. So anyway, we're walking out of the Napier Hotel, and she just says to me, I want to do something. And I'm like, well, what's open? Well, there's this and there's that. And she says, no. I want to like do something. I want to like start an art class, for example. And I'm like, hang on. I think there's an art class over there. Come with me. And so we went to the Learning Network, but the art class is on Mondays, not Fridays. So I'm like, well, okay, come with me on this journey. We're going to go get some. So I need to go get a drink from, like, I went and bought like some snacks from the food works nearby, and we came up here, and I taught her the basics of like starting to paint. And I'm no expert by any means, but I've done a couple of short courses on painting, and like I know at least how to get started and how to make it look, how to the basics, you know. I know the basics.
Yeah.
So she had never painted before, but she like I reckon she's a natural. I'll go get the painting that she did.
Ooh,
She hasn't finished it. But I gave her a canvas, and I gave her some tips, and this is what she's produced. And
oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
I know, and it's not finished, obviously, and it's like she used a reference photo that she found on Google Images, and just went in a completely different direction than I would have gone.
Oh wow!
And it's just amazing, and I love it. And I don't
Yeah.
think
Great.
she realized how talented she is.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna like keep doing that. She's gonna come over, and we're gonna do like arty stuff together. And
cool. Fun.
yeah, so yeah, like that really made my day that I could help her discover that. It's
That is nice.
yeah. And I need to buy some paint because I'm running low on a few colors. But yeah. So that happened to me yesterday. And I started a piece as well. But it's very rough at the moment. And I'm my own worst critic as well. So
That's off of the way.
yeah. But yeah, that happened to me yesterday. So
That's nice.
paint arting. I did
Arting.
art.
Doing an art.
Committed an art.
Yes.
I like doing digital art because it's easy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really easy.
Live long and prosper, nobody.
Cheers, nobody.
No, sweetie.
Yeah, usually when I'm doing art, I have to know exactly what it's going to look like before I even start.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm a programmer and I have to plan things and be very analytical about it. And I'm like I'm not so rigid in that I can't alter a plan or improvise every now and then. But with art, I've always been like, okay, this is what I'm going to paint. This is exactly what it's going to look like. But when I sat down with my friend, I had no idea what I was going to paint because it was so spontaneous. And I just like started just painting stuff. And the good thing about painting is that it like with acrylics and especially with oil, it's so forgiving. If you make a mistake, you can just paint over it. And you can experiment and you can think, oh, I wonder what that'll look like. Paint it. Oh, that looks crap, and then paint over it, and just and so I just started doing that, and it was like really kind of cool. So
nice. That is cool.
Yay! Awesome feelings.
Yes,
emotion. Friendship.
Actually, it's really good. Like when you get to know your tools and things with digital art.
Oh yeah.
When you get to know your tools and what you've got, available to you to work with, then it's you can actually plan what it's going to look like, and it will look basically the way that you had in your mind.
Sure.
One of the reasons why I like it.
Okay.
All right, I'm just trying it there. The Love and Murder is another winner.
Excellent. What's in it?
So it's 1 ounce of a bitter aperitivo, 1 ounce green chartreuse, 1 ounce lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce sugar syrup, and a few drops of saline.
Citrus.
Saline?
Yeah, that's a common thing. I have a bottle of olive brine for making dirty martinis. But a lot of people make their own saline. It's just like 1 part salt to 4 or 5 parts water.
Yeah.
And
why not just sprinkle salt on it?
You actually can. That will kind of work too. But that tiny bit of salt does a weird thing where it opens up flavors. Much the same as salt does with food.
With food, it's a flavor enhancer, just like MSG.
Yeah.
MSG is a salt as well. It's just not sodium chloride, which is table salt.
Yeah, monosodium glutamate.
Chemistry. I had this cool conversation today with this young lady. There was an open day at Fitzroy Learning Network, and I was there just crocheting away, and there were a few families, and so this her name was Juniper. And we all like went, oh, that's a rum reference. And but she's like 13, 14, I reckon she was. And anyway, so like we're knitting and crocheting, and I like started chatting with her and having this conversation, and I'm so not used to having an engaging political conversation with a teenager, because boys are the worst, and my son is amongst them, and he just has weird twisted like ideas about how the world works, because he's a teenage boy, and she confirmed that, because she was saying how she was frustrated with all the boys she knew were exactly like that, and so we started chatting, and then we heard helicopters, and I was like, oh, I hope there's not another protest. And then it got onto vaccines, and she was very, I think, because around here there's a few anti-vaxxers, because it's very gentrified around here, and I think like she'd heard a lot of anti-vax messages, so like I was able to gently have this conversation about the importance of vaccines, and she like actually listened, and it was just great, and I feel hope for the future. That hi, Fridge Ninja.
Fridge Ninja waving on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it was really good to like have this conversation with a young person and actually feel good about the future. Very refreshing.
That is excellent.
Yeah. She was quite switched on as well, and she asked some really great, and she made some really great points, and yeah, it was really good to have that conversation.
Yes.
And I did it in a very non-judgmental way, because she's obviously heard some like anti-vax, I'd almost say propaganda, and she was using some of their talking points, and I think I was successful at like gently offering counter arguments in a way that like she might understand. But I could tell she was like soaking it in, and so
that's good.
I don't know. The past couple of days have just been weirdly fucking awesome for me. Just have these like epiphanies and great moments and art and talking and social, and so adventure. That's a Shira reference.
When the weather lightens up in Melbourne, it's like such a relief from winter. Because our winters are so long. Winter just goes on for fucking ever. And then when it really lightens up, you're like, oh, the world has begun again. And everybody feels it.
I don't have seasonal affective disorder, but I still feel it.
I get sad.
It's just dark and wet and cold and windy weather is just kind of shitty.
Yeah, and it's not like there's some Scandinavian countries that their winters are oppressive, and like some regions where the sun literally does not rise for like 6 months. Because they're so far north. And they cope in their ways, but here in Melbourne, it may not be that oppressive, but it just sucks. It
does. It sucks.
Overcast and cold and windy, and everyone's wearing black, and
boring. It's really boring.
Yeah. And this was the first day of summer. The third day of summer, really. But it was a nice day, and everyone was out, and it was just it's always nice.
Yeah.
So go, Angry.
No, it's just to say, here's a weird one. This is like 20 years ago. I was living in Sydney, and there was an unseasonably wet period. There was this period where for 6 months it rained at least once every weekend. There was no weekend that was free of rain, and it was raining more often than it wasn't. And what I remember is one lunchtime walking through Martin Place, and I literally went, what is that on the ground? It's got sharp edges and whatnot. And then my brain went, it's your shadow. And you're not used to seeing your shadow because there's been so little bright sunlight. And also, do you fucking realize the reason you can see your shadow is you are hunched over like this and your head is tilted towards the ground? And it was this it was the double banger. The first thing is like, I didn't recognize my own shadow because I hadn't really seen it for a long time because there hadn't been bright enough sunshine. And then part of my brain went, you realize you can see your shadow because you're hunched over, because reflexively you've been hunched over for the last 6 months because it's been raining the whole fucking time. And I just kind of stood up and went, oh my God, the last 6 months fucking sucked. It was just...
Yep.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
But Melbourne does Melbourne does spring and autumn so much better than Sydney.
Oh, definitely. No,
I'm beautiful here. When I went back to Sydney for a year, I missed it, you know. And there's so many gardens here, and the grass doesn't have bindies.
Yeah.
I never find bindies in Melbourne. No fucking bindies. What's happening?
And we are not overrun with cockroaches. Sydney is fucking overrun with cockroaches.
Can we just agree that Sydney is actually the worst? Can we just like that's my opinion anyway. Sydney is like.
Well, you know, Melbourne people have always said that, and Sydney people have always said that Melbourne was a hole. But frankly, I was in Sydney when it was fabulous. It was fucking fabulous. You know, the Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras, as it was called at the time, was the biggest, bestest thing. It was bringing in all these tourists. It was awesome. But now, you know, what was there then is here now.
Yeah,
all the fabulousness, all the terrific bars and clubs to go to, and all that sort of stuff. It's here, not in Sydney anymore.
I lived in Sydney for 10 years, which again was probably its peak, late 80s to late 90s. I lived in Sydney for 10 years. Then I moved to Melbourne. The thought has never crossed my mind to move back to Sydney. It's like never been like, oh, I should go back to Sydney. Never. That's never been a thing that I've thought. That's and again, I loved my time in Sydney. I enjoyed it. And then I moved here and went, fucking hell. Sydney is so much more difficult to live in than Melbourne.
It is. It's difficult. That's why I came here, because it was so much easier to live on Austudy or whatever.
Yeah.
So and to do a university course than to do it in Sydney. In Sydney, it was impossible.
Yeah. I mean, when I moved here, a friend of mine had moved to Melbourne a couple years before me. And when I told him I was moving to Melbourne, he's like, dude, you're going to love it. There's only 4 roads and they're completely straight. And it's like, because the roads that go out from Sydney to the suburbs are weird, snaky, fucked up things. And the roads that go out from Melbourne Central to the suburbs, they're fucking straight. It's just like, oh no, if you want to go to the eastern suburbs, you go on this road. If you want to go to the western suburbs, you go on this road. And it's just like, it's so much
like
easier.
Spaghetti now. Sydney is just so insane. It used to be like if you want to go up the North Shore, where I grew up, you go up the Pacific Highway. And the Pacific Highway is the way that they used to drive the cattle up or down, you know, between the country and the city.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of meanders. But now, like, and that's the same with an awful lot of Sydney roads. it's just sort of meandering, following whatever the landscape was at the time.
No. The fucking the CBD of Sydney is these meandering fucking goat tracks that they paved over at some point. Like the Melbourne CBD is a grid. It is trivially easy to get anywhere in the Melbourne CBD.
When I first came here, though, that made me lost because I was used to spaghetti, and so I kind of got used to like, okay, a weirdly bending over here and over there, and strange little buildings here and there. And the buildings that fit into the weird little bends. Okay, that's how I recognized where I was.
It is a change. It's a change.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm too loud.
Oh, I'm about to go to bed. Yeah. I remember there was a meme that had like a map of the Melbourne and Sydney CBDs. You go, the Melbourne CBD is a fucking grid. And you go, Melbourne, because we want you to know where you are and how to get where you're going. And then there's Sydney, which is spaghetti, and it's Sydney because fuck you. That's why.
Yeah.
No, it's not really fuck you. It's more a case of
no, it's
Sydney.
fuck you. Sydney is fuck you.
No, it's Sydney because it's old. Because we did it that way. Because Grandpa remembered.
Because I grew up in the country, right, where everything is fucking slow. Like it's a long time since like I've driven in Dubbo, but I remember driving in Dubbo at traffic lights when people just inch away from a green light and I'm behind them going, for fuck's sake, it is green. Do you know how the gears on the car work? It's first, second, third, fucking go. And I was cracking my brother up saying shit like that in the car. But like I had my mum here once, and it was when I was living in Footscray, and I was driving down the main road, and there's all the little suburban city, and I could see down a side road there was a guy coming up the side road, and the fucker was not slowing down. And my peripheral vision was going like, he should have slowed down in preparation for this major road, and he's not slowing down. He's a fucking idiot. And I didn't brake, but I had taken my foot off the accelerator, and I was very aware of this guy. And the fucking idiot just shot straight from a side street into a really busy major street. And then I braked and I missed him. And my mum said, how did you do that? How did you know that? And I went, oh, it was just a situational awareness thing that it was like a sensible person coming from that street would be slowing down, and he wasn't slowing down. So he's probably an idiot. And I also explained that's the difference between Sydney and Melbourne, because particularly from a country person's point of view, the traffic's frantic. It's mad. In Sydney, all the madness, they're all very angry and they are actually trying to kill you. They are very angry and they think you deserve to die and they want to kill you. In Melbourne, they're just stupid. The weird ones, they're just stupid. It's not malicious.
No lies detected.
Yeah, they're just stupid. But it's the fundamental difference. If something crazy happens in Sydney traffic, it's because some motherfucker was actively trying to kill you because they're just a very angry person. In Melbourne, if crazy shit happens, it's because someone's real fucking dumb. They are very stupid. That's the fundamental difference.
How Parramatta Road doesn't descend into gang warfare every peak hour, I don't know. It's
Parramatta Road is Mad Max. It's Fury Road. No, Parramatta Road.
Tiny.
No, it's Fury Road. Parramatta Road in peak hour is Fury Road. You're just running down Parramatta Road screaming, "Witness me!" Parramatta Road.
But there are good pubs on Parramatta Road.
It's bad. It's very bad. I'm going to go to bed. This has been very funny talking about how fucked Sydney is.
Peace and long life.
Yeah, we don't have any Sydney people here, so we can just shit on Sydney for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've given
I'm
up on
sure.
loving
I'm
Sydney.
sure. Grasshopper's ears are burning. So
Yeah. Somewhere he's sitting there
Yeah.
going, wait, are they saying bad things about Sydney?
good night.
Night, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
I'm not going to be doing a Sunday night stream because I am going out with Mrs. Angry tomorrow. So probably Tuesday is the next time I'll see anyone on a stream if that happens. So you'll take care. See you all later. Bye for now.
Good night.